checkers and pleasers alike. How are we doing today?
Doing good.
Hello.
Welcome to our show, Checkpoint, the show where we discuss and discern the current events of the most recent episode of Check Please. Today we are discussing Check Please episodes 33 and 34. I would love to welcome our members today. I am Keni, your fortunate host. Foaly as my co-host, hungry for fleshed out answers.
Nom nom. Hello everyone.
Xeno, our swamp witch swarm monger.
Hey.
Grem, our robot master and beloved gnome.
Hero.
Beardy, our beloved DM, who's probably done paying his taxes.
No, not quite. Hi.
Well, you have to take a break. And Skrewy, our recently resurrected rock hard holy man.
I live.
You do.
And we're all the better for it.
It's true,
Yes.
because, like, the party dynamic needs to get leveled out by Petravian's optimism, because we're all just
little
sad,
bit.
cynical.
Cynical.
Some
of us are
Bastards.
senile, not all of us.
I might be senile. Riz might be senile.
Sad,
I
cynical,
honestly-
sassy
Sleuths?
sleuth suckers,
Says
No.
cynical sleuth.
schmucks.
We can just keep
Schmuck.
using
Yeah.
S-words. It's great.
Use alliteration.
Schmucks works. Schmucks works.
Schmucks is pretty good.
You know, I really thought it was going to take a little bit more to get Petravian back. I thought the party was going to have to be more involved, but
Me too.
You just have to put your faith in Mellifera.
It's true. Put your
That's
faith in
where I've been-
bees, just like they have faith in you and me.
the bees have faith in you.
Mm-hmm.
Not me, because they sting me.
Believe in the bees that believe in you.
And it was another great day
Yours
of
is
saving
the
the bees.
stinger that will pierce the
What?
anime.
Of course. If in doubt, if it's a reference I don't get, it's almost undoubtedly anime.
Or it's just some fucking meme that's popular right now that will date us completely. Or it'll be such an obscure
no.
meme that it won't date us because no one will know what it is. And it's fine.
Well,
No, Gurren Lagann is
Oh.
a
How'd you just say it?
Wow.
Good.
Gurren Lagann.
Isn't Gurren
boy.
Lagann?
What way?
I say
I mean,
Gurren
it's-
Lagann.
It sounds like a beer. Like I'll have a Gurren Lagann.
Gurren
And,
Lagann.
Hefeweizen.
I mean, it does sound
Gurren
like a beer.
Lager.
Now that you pointed
Yeah.
out, it does.
And,
Gurren
and
Lagann,
the
Hefeweizen.
glass would be all twisted.
I'm a
get one
little
at
upset
3
it's
liters
not,
tonight.
but you know, check please.
It's checkpoint.
Anyway.
Sorry.
Where shall we launch in? Because end of episode 32, we had just witnessed Petravian getting killed by Cassius. We'd all got picked up by the cops, some of us for less reason than others. Sorry.
I
Liz.
know. I'm
Um,
well aware.
And we had been brought to... sorry, I don't know why I became Riz then. We'd been brought to the villa of Faustus, who we weren't quite sure what he wanted with us, and then he brought out a certain half-orc, and that's where we left it.
I
So we
love
picked
that
up
weird
there.
little man.
Yeah.
Faustus
picked up there-
He ain't
so
little.
fascinating to me.
Real
Little?
fat.
What
Yeah,
about him is little?
Is he tall?
You've never seen him standing.
Well, he's a fat little man until he stands.
Yeah,
Then
he's
Okay.
a Doom boy.
he's a Dune boy, not Doom boy.
Desert power.
Doesn't
I
have
honestly
power.
thought Baron Harkonnen when I saw him, so he is kind of a Dune boy. But anyway,
desert power.
so we reopen on that, and he had some suggestions for us about how we might get the information that we were seeking.
What a strange
which-
little man.
Unfortunately, involved us having to go back into the arena, but this time together.
And
What was
fighting.
and fighting, yes. No, we weren't just going to go to the arena and just sort of chill and hang out.
We get
and
to be heroes by not doing
dance.
anything.
We get to be heroes,
I mean,
but not
that's
doing
what
anything.
the campaign's been up to now, right?
Ouch! We've done something.
I was eaten by a slime.
We brought a Beardy back to life. Anyway, what did folks make of that?
Which part?
That we
Yeah,
have
which
a-
part? That was a lot.
Yeah, which part?
That, well, Faustus, for one, reacting to him more, finding out that actually he doesn't
Okay.
really want that much from us, but then
I didn't-
also the fact that the best way to get the information we want is by becoming arena heroes.
Me.
Keni!
I didn't think he wanted anything that much. Thank you
Okay.
for the follow.
Uh,
Key Krindar. I hope I said
Yay!
it right.
Hey, Kate.
I mean, I personally enjoy Beardy being upset that people don't trust Faustus.
No one trusts any of Beardy's NPCs unless they're
Yeah.
a cute little girl, apparently.
That's
No, I
actually
don't-
true.
Well, okay, that's because all of the rich people are not cute little girls. I don't trust
Right.
rich people.
I trust.
Like, if-
You guys didn't trust Siva either. Notably, she did like almost kill Vera, but
Yeah, well, I trusted Siva because she didn't try to kill me.
you didn't like Siva. Well, Levette didn't like Siva though.
Yes, I like Siva. I've always liked Siva.
She's the best. I miss my girlfriend. Hello.
I think behind the scenes, I was probably most mistrustful of Faustus,
Yeah.
just because the name Faustus and the Tarquinius and rich and seeking diversion, it set off a whole bunch of alarm bells. But so far, I've just been kind of delighted by the fact that actually, no, this dude just kind of is fascinated
He's
by
just
what happens. and
weird.
He's just weird.
Yeah.
He might still turn on us, but so far he's cool.
I
I
mean,
don't think he's gonna turn on us, but I do think he still has something to gain. I still feel like this, like there are plenty of weird shit he could throw money
Oh
at
yeah.
to be entertained.
Oh, yeah.
Right. It could be if he thought he was going to get entertainment and diversion from us like dying in the arena at the end instead.
But I
Who's
mean,
to say
he
he
could.
couldn't hook that up?
Or it
but
could just be like down the line, he's like, oh, by the way, while you guys are in that library, if you could pick me up some things I'm not supposed to have, or something like that.
Yeah.
He'd have
don't
easier
care.
time accessing it than
I don't
we
either,
would
but I'm
currently.
suspicious.
I feel like he'd just buy his way into getting whatever he wanted, anyways.
Yeah.
I find it very interesting because I don't think we can judge characters on their names or anything when we first meet them.
that's where you'd be wrong.
I can't because I'm like, until I figure out what their MO is, I am going to be blissfully delighted in them unless they set off like my vibe check, my own personal vibe check. And I don't know if this is because I know Beardy too well. I wonder if that's the case.
I have a follow-up question to that.
Yeah, yeah.
Regarding your vibe checking. Where does Detlev fall in your vibe check?
God, I fucking hate that bastard.
100% vibe.
Why? Yes.
Wait,
Yes.
Skrewy, do you want to know why? Do you actually
Okay.
want to know
Yeah,
why?
I really do not want to know why you
Okay.
just despise Detlev so much.
I'll tell you.
Is it the?
Okay.
Is it just the voice?
It's very much so heavily the voice. I find him incredibly annoying, and it's specifically made to grind gears. He was originally a joke NPC in the fucking first season because we wouldn't chill on asking for NPC names. So Beardy was
he
like,
punishment.
"Fuck off! Here's a weird character." That's like the worst
Now he
incarnation.
hasn't gone away.
I haven't asked for NPC names that much since because I learned my lesson.
Joke's on you. Detlev's my favorite character.
And I,
Right?
I understand you're
He's
delighted.
the best.
I
Yeah.
understand you guys are delighted by him, but like he doesn't annoy you guys, but he definitely annoys me. Like I just think of like every anime or like media that has conditioned me to hate these characters, and I'm like, of course I would hate them. Like,
Oh, you wouldn't
So
hate
wait,
me.
you
Shut the
hate
fuck
like Nurse
up.
Joy and Officer Jenny? All
oh,
the
I don't really like them. They're really boring and annoying. Like, I guess Jenny's hot.
I mean,
Jenny's
Detlev seems
hot,
interesting
yeah.
to me.
Low-key, Jenny Hot.
Smash.
Okay, so aside
Nurse
for
Joy,
me,
no.
aside from the
Pass.
voice,
Hmm?
I mean, aside from the voice, Detlev is incredibly interesting to me. Just the idea of what the mystery that is Detlev
I love
to
the
me.
faces that
is-
Beardy makes when you guys say things.
I love how
I
we
just
have this
watch
whole
him.
list of discussion
Just the
points for both episodes, and yet we're
smugness.
talking about Detlev again.
No, fuck it. We can do whatever we want. It's our show.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
This is the talk show where we talk.
I do kind of want to get to the bottom of Detlev after Curler's interactions with him and seeing all the illusion magic on Detlev. I want and why he's in each town and what the hell that connects with what Beardy has said about certain information maybe not being made available
And what
deliberately.
about Detlavius?
What's this library
Detlavius.
conspiracy going on? I'm really fascinated by that.
Yeah, it's almost
Okay.
like there's some force controlling all the information, so like certain things are only done by certain people.
So
Well, I mean, is that just
Wild.
the god who talks, or
I mean, the illusion magic stuff was honestly a letdown for me because I am hoping with all of my heart that there is nothing. That Detlev's just a guy. There's just a bunch of guys that are Detlev and they're just librarians and that's it. I
So-
There's
hope
just
with all my
a
heart.
dynasty of. There's just a dynasty.
No,
of
they're not related.
librarian.
There's no reason for
Really?
Pure
I
coincidence.
I don't care if that makes things weirder. I just want there to be no payoff to this setup. That would be
That
the
would
best
anger
payoff.
me.
Here's
Yeah.
my theory, just because I
It'd be
just
so
finished
satisfying.
editing the video for episode 15. Because that was the first time we met Detlev again, outside of Bill.
Mm.
I think Detlev's
The debt lie?
the
The
Detli
Detzlev?
Yeah.
are a part of this horde of dragons that are hoarding knowledge, and like each area is their own little horde, and they're just a family of dragons.
I would love that. Because dragons. Oh my god, dragons.
And
Fuck
They-
dragons.
they all just
like
kind of
twins.
I'm trying.
no, it's not that. I think they all just kind of figured out how to human form, like with one person, and they're like, "Yeah, this is good enough. As long as we're not close enough together, this should be fine." And
Detlev is actually the first human to have stumbled into their nest, and that's what the frame of reference for what humans look and act like
Yeah.
is.
and they're like, "Oh, just change your name if it doesn't make sense for the region." And that's it.
I mean, if we are going to get access to the library again by becoming heroes of Prota,
Yeah.
we will encounter Detlevius again. So
We'll
that's going to be
see. It
Maybe.
might-
No,
maybe.
I mean, the city
Fingers
archives are a
crossed.
little bit different than the library.
Yeah.
Ah,
It's a different
okay.
building.
But they might have their own Detlev too.
That's certainly possible. We'll have to wait and see.
God, I hope.
Well, that's where we're gonna meet Detlevius Maximus.
So anyway, we run through this with Faustus, and he tells us how we can go about becoming heroes of Prota. But obviously, we're still. I think I'm getting this in the right order. We're still a person down at this point because
Yeah.
Petravian is
He's still dead.
is still dead, and we're not taking it particularly well. Vera is a little bit.
I'm taking it fine.
Okay, fine. Riz is taking it fine
Uh-huh.
because Riz is chill like that. But
They're a psycho.
Chill.
Xeno, Vera has just lost a member of their hive despite their best efforts to save him.
Yeah, that's dramatic.
Talk to me about how Vera was
Solid
doing.
efforts.
Oh no, like I hope that it came through a bit in the episode. Just
Oh, it
that,
did. Totally did.
Like Vera does not. Vera's lost so much already before. Anytime she loses one of her siblings, it's just brings back trauma upon trauma. And usually Vera's coping mechanisms aren't very healthy, such as murder.
Yeah. She don't handle pain well.
No.
And not like she handles physical pain well, she doesn't handle emotional
No.
pain well.
This is the person whose healing touch involves punching and hitting in order to activate healing spells. So yeah, physical pain Vera seems to be all right with. So Cassius is a dead man,
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully.
according to Vera.
Oh.
According to
oh,
Vera.
according to Vera.
According to Vera,
Or,
yeah.
Vera might be a dead person at that rate. We'll see.
Well, like all of us going against him, we should be fine if we did that, but like I really don't
Wow. I don't know why would I fight him. I don't fucking. Petra's back.
Kurla agreed to help as well with killing off Cassius, which I think is
Look,
kind of unusual.
I'm pretty
for them.
sure I proved I could probably kill a lot of things today.
With your
So many
disintegration.
Yes.
Yeah, well.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Just a
but-
mammoth.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think
Revenge,
Cassius has got a better fort save than a mammoth. I'm gonna be real.
Oh,
Probably got
then-
better saves all around than a
I
mammoth.
don't know. Barbarians are
mine bloody.
weird. I've never
Yeah,
played,
Spells
they're
are
not
that
bad.
I,
played one.
as somebody who was taking all those hits, it would have to be definitely ranged. What took
You
him
were taking
down.
them like a champ.
You
Still.
can't range him. He
Um,
can run like
got
300
Yeah,
fast
he's
squares.
got way too fast.
He's got
Okay.
haste on all the time.
Chains
But
of
think,
light,
okay,
chains
think of it this
light.
way though.
They didn't work on him.
I
Damn.
didn't really take them very well. I
Take
went
what?
down the hits. I mean,
Several times.
I went
during the
down
fight.
a few times, and it was
Mhm.
only by the
Yeah,
by the
and then
gra-
factor in
by
the fact that he only
characters,
used
like-
his weapon for some of those.
yeah.
He usually
He was just lifting
slapped
me
you
up
with
and
his
going.
hands. Yeah.
I still feel like you were, standing up and continuing the fight, even though you
Oh
were
yeah.
vast.
Yeah.
But I also don't want to
respect for
fight him
that.
myself if I don't have to.
Yeah, he was doing something to the tune of like an average of 50 damage per hit.
Yeah.
And
I would die if he got
would
close
hit,
to
like,
me.
6 times a round. So you guys are like welcome to try, but I don't
I mean,
think that's a fight I would ever send you
my
against.
theory is he's the final person in our fights anyways.
Oh, you think he's the
I
he's the
do.
big bad
I
little
think
guy?
he's the last thing we're supposed to fight to become heroes.
Oh, you think he's round
It would
5.
Yeah.
track plot-wise if we would need to become on his level to get access to the archives.
I mean, he did come out of retirement to like execute Petravian.
Yeah.
But like, does that mean that he's like unretired now, or was
I
that
don't
a
know.
one-time
He
thing?
went to a
I'll
church
trust
to
him.
pray after fighting, so.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like that's a thing he's interested in.
But who
'Cause
knows?
It did seem like he was pretty distraught when he left.
He
so-
could have just found out, oh wait, my brother's alive again. Maybe I should try to talk to him now.
Maybe.
I'll sign up for that shit. We're gonna be heroes,
Ooh.
god damn it.
Well, Dad, then I mean, he'll find out if you become famous.
This is such a weird tune compared to Soul. Sorry.
Mhm.
This is very weird for me where I'm like, yeah, we're gonna be heroes, and I'm like, well, Riz isn't as like a player. Soul was as a player, but Soul didn't want to be a hero. It's very weird.
It's the beautiful dichotomy of it, isn't it?
We may not have to get vengeance on Cassius anymore, considering that, hey, Petravian's alive again.
Dragon is alive. Yeah.
Resurrection.
That definitely does reduce the priority of killing Cassius.
Yeah.
It's
So-
still on the list, just like
It's
top
like
10 now instead of
mid-tier
like,
on that list.
So now, rather being like, hey, that's like maybe 1 or 2, now it's like, if anything, I'll put that down, wait till I get rid of this Gias, so I'm not put to sleep.
If we still have it.
Who's on Vera's hit list? Like, I mean, it must be fairly long by
I'd
now.
have to find out.
I have a theory.
Ooh.
Is it? It's definitely whoever put that gauntlet mark on her.
Interesting theory.
Elves.
Well, we'll
Everybody.
hopefully find out
mean-
more about that down the line.
Fair is just our BBEG. Her hit list is just going to be everybody in the world by the end of the campaign.
I mean, it would be really
to put her
sad
down.
to have to face Farah at the end of everything.
Oh no.
They're pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. Like, I know you would be fine with it, but, like, at least my inner soul still being like, oh, Vera's my best friend, that would just rip me on the inside completely.
And,
Yeah,
and
we
also,
fucking
if you
do.
killed Vera, then you have to deal with Soul.
I do, yeah, and I don't really want to deal with Soul.
I've learned going against Vera on the times that I have.
Those are,
It doesn't
those are
end
some
well.
fun fights.
Oh my god, I remember the
Those are not
first
fun
one
fights.
when you had Petravian as a cleric fighter because you wouldn't take the
Yeah.
advice of being a paladin, and you're like,
No.
I'm gonna face Vera. And when your ass got whooped so hard.
What was the threat that
I-
that Petravian made in like the 51st episode against?
It won't
It
be
won't
a
be a
knife.
Be a knife.
Oh shit!
Oh, what?
I
Fighting
love that
words.
you fucking remember that word for word.
Never forget it.
And it's
Like-
like Vera, out of all the characters, was actually like, oh, maybe this guy's chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he threatened me.
Tisk tisk.
I'll never forget that, and I'll never forget such big talk for someone so small.
Yeah, right? And it's like, what the fuck is this guy's deal?
Okay, now that we are in Prota,
No.
do you get it?
I don't.
Well,
Wait,
considering the
No, I
smack
don't think
talk and sort of hyper toxic masculinity that got thrown around towards you, it does make a certain amount of sense if that's the culture that Petravian kind of grew up in.
How many years was he with Eden?
That's actually a good question. I'm curious.
If only it was on the wiki. Hint Skrewy trying to hurt the
Wait,
Fill out your fucking wiki article.
Hold on, what was the other one that he did, though? It was the, give me a fucking break. Is that it?
Was
that
that
yeah,
it?
against
that one too.
Soul?
Yeah.
That was
That was
Yeah.
Soul, yeah.
That was
After
with
he got
Soul
bailed out
and
of.
After they bail him out of jail and was like,
right,
I'm
that
not
was
gonna tell anyone, but fuck you.
Okay. Yes, but
It was
let's
cut me some
let's
fucking
look at
slack.
the positives. Let's look at the positive.
I bailed you out of jail,
He's
and then
not
you
an
decided to
asshole
bitch
anymore.
with me.
Yeah. This is fair. Petravian has grown a lot since
Yeah.
then. He's changed
no
quite a lot
character
since
arc.
then, personality-wise
Physically,
and
Yeah.
design-wise, and now it's pretty much it's sort of
His
the
cape is the
biggest
correct color.
transformation.
I do enjoy whenever Petravian says something horrible and Skrewy's like, oh yeah, and you're like, Vera says something bad. I'm like, yeah, she did.
Because you do it intentionally.
Yeah.
So Skrewy, talk to me
Yes.
about that whole resurrection sequence, because we cut
Oh.
away from all of the rest of us in
Yeah.
Faustus's villa to Petravian wandering through a grove. Almost a little bit like Chisel, whose life you keep ruining, but we'll maybe get to that.
Rip
Oh, that poor
Chisel,
boy.
that poor boy.
But you found yourself in a garden. Talk to me. Talk about that moment. And Beardy, by all means, chime in here too if you'd like.
And stop
Okay.
doing your taxes.
No.
We are on a show. I know what you're doing when you're looking over that way.
We've
Stop
all
doing
got
your
a
fucking
pipe or
taxes.
something.
Okay, so at the time, I'm thinking, okay, this is the afterlife. Whose afterlife is this?
Yeah. What's afterlife? How was it described?
It was a meadow of flowers.
It was a garden.
It's garden, yeah.
Oh, I thought for some reason I remember meadow,
You
but
met a gardener in the
yeah,
garden.
Yeah, the NPC that I called
Yeah.
the gardener. So
yeah,
you met the gardener in a garden after you died.
Yeah.
Plants and trees and all kinds of beautiful things everywhere. And there was a cottage.
and they asked me to
And-
come over and weed some stuff.
Yeah, this
just,
old
get-
woman asked you to pull some weeds,
Mm-hmm.
and then to help with a beehive that had grown on the back of the house and was stinging her.
And I just it.
Yeah, metaphors, right?
Trying to figure out that old
Metaphors.
lady.
So
who it
question everybody.
Yeah.
Who does everyone think the gardener is? Because we are already told by Beardy,
It's not
oh,
Eden.
it's not Eden.
It's.
I mean,
Not
did we
even
all
Eden.
think it was Eden prior to Beardy sort of
Yes.
suggesting that it
Yeah.
was?
Yeah, I
Because
mean,
that was where
obviously,
my
right?
mind went instantly.
yeah, it obviously represents Eden, right?
So is this a god? Is this
Well,
Yeah.
so? Are we
All
assuming
right.
this is a god? Is that the first?
I'm
I
not
was gonna
anymore,
say, doing
actually.
the math, I'm like, all right, gardener, extremely old, very
Yep.
friendly, asks for
Yep.
help. Hildegard.
I love Hildy. I miss her.
I'm
I hope Jackie gets to meet her one day. I feel like
Okay,
That would be
so
really cool.
I feel like they'd
Part of
have
me-
the greatest hugs together.
They would be like the like that'd be like Aunt Hildy after
Yeah.
that. That would just become like family.
Family.
What
Side
is
note, go and
there
watch Snake Eyes.
in each of the religion, the faith, the followings? Is there like a Grim Reaper kind of thing? Is there a Grim Reaper
Karis.
character?
Wouldn't it be Thess? Kind of.
Like in
That's
each
foresight.
particular
So-
faith, would there be
So-
like
The god of death, you mean?
No, like
Like
No,
someone who
there's a
takes
god
you to
of
the
the-
afterlife.
The answer is no. There's a god
Yeah.
of death to handle it for everybody.
Yeah, that's what the god of death
Okay.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
so
now can't remember what the
so
word
it's
is for
not.
that,
See,
but
I,
there's a
for
word.
Giant
my next
whirlpool.
thought was, yeah,
A
but my
maelstrom,
next
yeah.
thought was it was a
shepherd?
yeah.
So I was looking through the like deities because like I don't know if this person even is a deity. I was looking at like the female ones and I was like, Voluna, that's the dreams and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
a possibility, just because it's a fucking dream. Who knows?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, because it's a non-corporeal
Bella.
interaction.
The gardener persona does not fit Bella, obviously,
Mm.
but Bella's also a good deity, if I recall. Is that right?
And this is her
I think
realm.
she's
I was thinking about
neutral.
Bella's
Bella's
true neutral.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bella's
Yeah.
true neutral.
true neutral. Oh, I thought she was lawful neutral.
Mm-mm.
She,
Okay.
I think she's true.
She's
you might
true
be right,
neutral
though.
on
Let
the
me
wiki.
double check.
Okay.
Okay, good.
But she knew of the royal honey,
Yeah.
which I mean, I would assume
The
you would
gods have been
assume
around
that.
for a long time.
Yeah. So, but why would they call it why would they that
'Cause
god?
That's what it is.
What?
That's what it's called.
It
It's
it
Mellifera's
just-
royal honey.
Probably
Yeah.
because multiple gods have had to go against this fucking insect cult that keeps on being like, oh, we're all really equal and you should stop capitalism.
Everybody's like, why are the bees dying? And all the other gods are like, why won't they stop?
Well, the identity of the gardener still being in question. Any other theories?
Let's see.
I don't think it's a god.
No? Who do you think it is?
Elder?
So, you know how when we were researching Thess a little bit and we found out that Thess had like little minions and shit?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a minion of a god, but I know minion sounds like evil and or really gross because little yellow screamy men.
An employee.
I'm just gonna think of Eden having all these fucking
Yeah, me too.
fucking garbage. I'm leaving.
I don't know.
The most ambitious crossover event.
I think we found out Detleft's true identity.
Minion.
I don't know if he, the gardener, sorry, is a specific deity's follower of some kind, but my gut feeling is it has to be that when we were told it wasn't Eden. Also because Beardy told me he couldn't tell me. That was my best guess.
Yep. Because part of that I would consider it a spoiler, so I won't talk about it.
I will say that, so whoever the gardener is, or who they represent, or are working for,
Which is kind of obvious.
Okay.
To me, at least, it's kind of obvious.
You made the
Who
world
they're
fuck off.
working for, you mean, or who they are?
No, who they represent / work for.
No, if they're
Okay,
not
that one-
Eden
that one
themselves,
still-
then they're
yeah,
working
that one
for
still
Eden.
strikes me as Eden. But
but the fact that they know, they had Petravian move the wild hive to an apiary, correct?
Yeah, an
Xeno?
apiary. Yeah.
Okay, so
Beehive.
they wanted to impress upon Petravian the necessity to not control but to kind of guide or to not contain, not guide, but to shepherd the hive in a constructive manner. And whereas being on the side of the building they could cause problems, being inside the apiary they can be productive and grow and be something more.
Now, did you read that as metaphorically Petravian having to choose between their sort of joint allegiance to Eden and Mellifera, having to side more with Mellifera, even though it's still kind of in the greater service of Eden?
No, that's how that's exactly how I was thinking of it too, but more that he's not doing this for Eden or for the greater good. He's doing it because he loves the hive, and that he wants to see it grow. And in doing so, it inadvertently helps Eden, great, but more so he wants the health and well-being and happiness of the hive.
And is willing to suffer for it.
Yes.
Since, I mean, that it was not a pleasant transformation. It was
No.
some bloody horror, which I'm sure delighted you, Xeno.
Let's be honest though. If you rolled better, it wouldn't have been as body horror-y.
No. But story-wise,
I think you would have just turned into what you look like if you had actually rolled well.
The dice giveth, and
yes,
the
but
dice
but
taketh away.
Exactly. The ABCs of bee care. He didn't follow it. That's what
always
happened.
be cared.
Always
the ABCs
be
of
careful.
beekeeping, by the way, is a very cool book series. Not series, it's just like an old book.
Does it have accurate, anatomically correct bees in it?
It does
Kyle?
because it's a real world book.
Well, fuck off.
You can sometimes find it in like antique book sections.
Do you own this book?
No, I didn't buy it. I have to look for it again. It looks really fancy though.
Because you know Xeno just buys a bunch of insect books and they just kind of sit in our house. But he's happy that he owns them.
I am.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, I know what to get you for Christmas.
Yeah,
So-
definitely. Just make
also-
sure it's not one we have already.
But speaking also of that, I would like to bring up after the session when we asked, you got what the message was, right, Skrewy? And you're like, yeah. Bees be dangerous or something. I think you went through like 5 different wrong answers.
They weren't necessarily wrong.
Before getting to something that Beardy's like, that's close enough.
Yeah, sure.
It was an interpretive exercise. It's
Yeah.
just the main meaning that Skrewy took away was not necessarily the primary one that was intended. But anyway.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
and I
look,
kind of, I felt really bad about not getting it like right away, and I felt bad.
no,
I still feel a little bad.
It's a metaphor, right? And basically, like to peel the fourth wall back here, it's a metaphor about the garden itself represents the universe existence in a lot of ways, and having you weeding with the gardener first, and then moving the hive, both are basically trying to push the same point that things in that garden work better when everything is in its proper place.
I don't
So-
like that message. Fuck off.
Like when everything is in balance, things work better.
Well,
So,
we're doing
like-
wayism now.
In a way, yeah. I mean, that's
Petravian was before all the rest of
Yeah,
us.
it's true.
Yeah.
He was really good at wayism.
Mhm.
It's easier, I think, in some ways to unpack a metaphor when you're getting to just observe versus being in the middle of that and having to react to the fact that your character's no
Right.
longer been horribly slaughtered. So I don't think there's any shade there, Skrewy. No
No,
judgment.
I don't blame
Um,
anybody.
It was a great metaphor. Apparently,
No.
I'm not very good
No,
at
I'm not.
metaphors.
Wasn't a great metaphor. It was pretty.
See,
good.
I like
I
it.
know you say
It
you
was-
don't blame anyone, Beardy, but I think you blame yourself.
Hey, you got
I
it.
do. It's
Yeah.
almost as if I know you.
So
How do you feel
anything...
getting called out, bitch?
That I want to drown my sorrows in food.
Yeah.
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 Texas.
And then those foods make you feel ill.
Exactly. See, it's the cycle of self-harm.
So anything more on that? I'm just gonna.
I
I'm
love
not gonna touch that with the
Bravo,
20 poll. I'm just gonna move on.
bravo on the body horror, and fuck you.
I mean, yeah. Look, here's the thing. I know what some of my players like, and I got to give everybody like a little bit of a little boost from every so often. So you know what? If I can throw in some body horror, I've made someone's day.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy to do it. Besides, that's what it was meant to be anyway, because that you unlike Vera had not become completely attuned to that energy. Like Vera has lived and breathed that damn near their whole life, so they're ready for it. And even then, it was dangerous for them to partake of that honey. People that weren't able to do that, people that weren't completely attuned to it or had gone through the proper steps or were strong enough, I guess is the way to put it, they turned into bee monsters that you guys fought, earlier in the campaign.
In campaign 1.
Yeah,
In
campaign
season
1.
In bees.
Mhm.
With an
Right,
exclamation
in the episode Bees.
You have to
There's
attune
a
yourself
lot-
to the spice. You can't just have a spice overdose. That's not desert power.
Between the
So-
two
but-
there's so many fucking episodes with the word bee in it between the
Yeah.
two fucking seasons.
But then having that same thing happen to Petravian, there's basically what I'm saying is there's like a precedent for it. There's a history that this stuff is dangerous in that particular way. So the body horror was not out of nowhere. Like,
No,
that was
no,
an
no, it was
established
perfect.
thing that this is definitely is capable of doing to someone. And
But-
it did it to Petravian until this gardener came over and was like, no, enough of that.
So that like floored me even more because they are able to. I mean, they were just like, no, you're fine. You have a purpose. We're
because
not,
we
no.
know that you need like positive reinforcement.
I mean, the fact
Who
that they were able
doesn't
to do
need
that, or the
positive
fact that they were
reinforcement?
kind about it. I'm confused. What part of that floored you?
Just okay. It was that they had the power, not
That they were able
I didn't-
to.
yeah, that
Yeah, okay.
I didn't know. Don't know still don't know who they are.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they're a deity or just a representative thereof, and that they have so that you have to have sort of a divine connection to be able to halt a body horror mutation and turn it into something positive.
Well, it's kind of diverted the bees, right?
I
You
mean,
could be a
well, no,
regular
it was-
gardener
I
and
mean,
do
here-
that.
Here's my thoughts: is that literally, it's just natural magic. A bunch of different deities all handle natural magic. They all have different aspects of nature that they control in that. And Mellifera is just able to control a very specific form of it. It's not like other greater gods can't do that even easier. It's just that's what Mellifera does. So it's like, yep, it makes sense that they'd be able to at least control it.
I will say it's a missed opportunity that Petra didn't come back with like one compound eye or something.
He did.
He did.
It did.
Like a
look
compound,
close.
like the bug
Yeah,
eye.
look at the
Huh?
image.
You gotta go to the original and
I
Well,
gotta load
let's
it
talk
up.
about.
You
Let's
gotta
talk about
zoom
that
in on
image.
that eye. Yeah.
Let's
it's
talk about that
compound.
image because we have your
well,
adventures
okay.
in the afterlife.
Fair enough.
What?
Oh, God.
Did you?
I don't know if I.
No,
have
no,
that.
no, no, really cares.
No, we have your adventures in the afterlife, and then you
Mhm.
are brought back, and you're not brought back the same. Petravian had this amazing redesign, courtesy of the incredible artistic skills of one Keni.
Yeah, I really hated that his fucking cape wasn't purple when I gave him a fucking purple cape.
The purple cape was what was your main priority in that
Mhm.
wonderful piece of art that saw so many
Well,
other changes.
Originally, I had it as black, but all of his cloth turned to black when I was doing recolors because I tested on his last image on like what color combinations would be good. And the black and on the black just kind of faded it out, and I put red on there, and the red didn't really work because it just didn't visually. Hi there, I've gone to fucking art school, so yay.
Color theory.
Color theory is one thing that I'm very good at, and I wanted there to be a color contrast, so it really showed off his armor with it, and none of the colors were working. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna check with Beardy because I didn't think Petravian was wearing this cape anymore that Soul gave him at the end of season 1. I'm like, hey, just to check, is this cape actually the one that Soul gave him? And he was like, yep, it's the cape of charisma. And I was like, motherfucker's been wearing this and he didn't color it goddamn magenta? Fucking Presidium purple, as Levette would call it. So I of course had to go back in.
Blue.
I'm proud of you. It's so good that you like blue. But also so knowing color theory, I'm just gonna say it. Petravian looked like a villain.
Oh, 100.
He very much did. The last outfit was very evil
Oh
coded,
god,
but I
he's
thought
so large.
that's fine.
He definitely looked like a Sith from like KOTOR.
I'm just gonna
Yeah.
I see it.
Yes.
so I'm just gonna wrong
AU, Adron, where it's all just actually
Yeah.
Star Wars. We all have lightsabers.
Look at all that.
Shit, now I want to play.
Oh,
it.
you don't want to see
Oh,
Vera as
we've got the
Yeah,
artwork
like-
up now.
I'm trying to get the compound eye big enough. Cause it's a subtle detail, but yeah, he actually does have a compound eye.
Yeah, I did. I meant like a big bulbous one that he doesn't have a regular.
Oh.
eye behind.
Oh, okay. No, over his like eyeball is compound like fucking shit.
But it's not. He doesn't. He's got the regular iris behind it, so it's not like he sees.
That's
in every
mostly
direction at
just
the
an
same time.
effect thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Does he see in every direction at the same time? Who has the answer?
I
for
don't
this?
know, that
Is
would
it
be
Beardy? Is it
Beardy.
Skrewy?
I would assume he. Okay.
I don't want to hear Screw's answer. Get Beardy.
I want to hear Beardy's.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Look, mechanically, he's not going to get any differences to his vision. Like, he's not going to get a bonus or penalty to anything.
Yeah, you
So
just-
I wouldn't imagine.
You just get
being able to see in
headaches.
every direction at once would be both useful and disorienting.
Look at
yeah,
him.
so I'm not changing this character's stats in any way because of that for that particular thing, right?
I just want to know how much of a weirdo Petra is.
Oh, Petra's an incredible weirdo. People can look at him and
Okay,
be like,
yeah.
"What the fuck are you?" Yeah,
He fits
you're
right
a-
in then. We're all,
You're a
we're all
monster. You have a crystal for an arm and a bee eye.
And yet,
Oh, no.
still no beard. Still can't compete with Cat.
I
Beard.
refuse to give him a beard.
Mm-hmm. It's okay.
Alas.
I like
Yeah.
the beat. I
So-
like. It's. I think it would be too much.
It
When you
would.
cast-
All of that would be too much.
When you cast Iron Beard and it does sprout, what color are the crystals? Are they amber now, or are they?
I think
Yeah.
he's been saying they were amber.
They gotta be.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there were some stat changes. Obviously not with the vision in that compound eye, but we did
Yes.
see some stat changes and a
Yes.
class change as well,
Yeah, an archetype change.
Yeah.
an archetype change.
He's still a paladin. He's just a hivekeeper paladin, which is something we've made. Yay!
Yay, homebrew.
So I tweaked around a couple things. They're pretty minor changes, to be honest. Like there's a lot more. Like there is a lot more we could have gone into and like rooted out and ripped out. But there's a lot of that class that you really like, and I don't want to like take away class features that you enjoy using.
Like
So
Smite.
I had to like Smite. So I had to like tweak stuff to make it a little bit different.
So yeah, we'll probably have like a base for actual hivekeeper paladin that's completely different than.
Than what
Yeah,
Petravian
so-
has when we
yeah,
write stuff.
I'll probably write up. Yeah, I'll write up a proper archetype and put it up on the wiki for a hivekeeper paladin. If anybody ever wants to make one or use one in the future someday, it'll have like an official 1 to 20. Like this is what they get in exchange for paladin abilities.
Yeah.
So I'll write it up as like a normal archetype.
We'll probably
Intriguing.
write one up for Swarmmonger and Fate Weaver too, since those are.
I'd
Right.
probably call
Yeah.
it an Entomancer just because then it's not
Entomancer.
something that's already made.
Okay.
Yeah, sort of a thing. Well, by the time
Yeah.
we're done, we can run a campaign where everybody has a bee-themed character class.
No, thank you.
No, we're gonna
Yeah,
kill.
season
We're
30.
gonna kill a cult.
But
That's what's gonna
yeah,
happen.
the
Yeah.
Fate Weaver's a full unique class,
Mhm.
so that has a whole thing written out for it already. It's just not on the wiki.
It's just not on the wiki yet. I think we'll
Yeah, that-
put it on the wiki after the end of the season.
Probably so.
Because spoilers.
And then the Hivekeeper Paladin would just be an archetype of Paladin, so that entry would be a little bit different looking. But yeah, no, I can slap both of those up there, and then the particular Hive Swarmmonger Keeper beacon that Vera is. There's a couple things in there that are a little bit flavored differently, so we can make another one of that.
Oh, there's so much stuff I can add.
Yeah, I think Xeno is just like a wellsprung of like ideas for entomancy anyways. So it's not going to be very hard for them.
Instead of calling it a sort of normal mount, it would have to be some sort of ginormous insect.
Chisel.
I love that.
Well, Chisel's got weird bee wings now, so Chisel's
That's true.
got some body horror going too. But we'll talk about that for episode 34. You mentioned something, Keni, interesting to this just before we started talking.
Yeah.
That Sol probably wouldn't recognize Petravian at this point.
Not at first. I mean, one
You think
his
so?
time is very weird for Soul right now. They're forgetting things and things are blending in together in a way that I don't think they fully realize as of currently. But I think if they saw Petravian, it would take them a while to figure out that's him. Like, if no one said anything and they see this person, they'd be like, oh, what a weird Oriad.
Also, we should probably explain for folks who may not have listened to season 1. Sol was Kenny's season 1 character who kind of ascended to godlinghood.
They're gone now.
Mass world destroying
No.
thing.
Yeah, they became a cosmic murdering
Horror.
force.
Just a cosmic horror, okay?
Yeah, that's true.
can't-
They became a cosmic horror.
No, that's your
the way to
horse.
put it.
Yeah.
That is my horse.
That is your horse. Oh my god, the rip in space time that was the
Was
horse.
the horse's soul? Wait, what? No.
Ooh,
Oh,
interesting. A future version of Sol.
I mean, I kind of I can't really speak on Soul's temporal experience, but I feel like my basis thinking about that, I was like, well, would Karis recognize him? I can't. She's an NPC, so I can't speak too definitively on that. But I imagine she would immediately. I can't imagine she would have any trouble recognizing him. Might be like, whoa, new outfit, but like that's it.
Like, hey, you turned yellow.
Yeah.
wait, did you get a haircut?
Yeah. Did you get a haircut?
I mean, you've got some fresh body hair. It just happens to be the form of crystals, up and down your arm, and yeah, I love that design.
It's glinty, and I love that. Like, it's so pretty.
I like that the head crystals look kind of like a Greek wreath.
Ooh, I didn't even think of that.
Mm-hmm.
whereas actually it's just from where your brother cleaved your skull
Yeah,
in.
that's where your head got caved
Okay.
in and your brains came out.
Please remind me. Did he hit me on the side of the head with the side of his axe? I can't
Yeah.
remember
So at the very end, when he decided to use lethal damage, he took your arm off, and then
Yes.
he caved in your skull. In
With
the
the
same
arm?
attack.
Or was it with the...
What?
He wasn't
the
feeding
side
him
of
to
the-
death with the arm then?
No.
Okay, I couldn't
He
quite
used his
remember.
axe and he cut off Petravian's left arm, and then used the flat of that axe to crush his skull.
Yeah, it was terrifying and great.
Yeah, like really just destroyed him, obliterated him in the
Oh my
arena.
God. Is he allowed to do that?
So yeah, anytime we need Petravian, or rather Skrewy's character to get killed off, we know which guest performer to
Yeah,
bring
let's
back
bring
in.
Silverquill back.
Oh my god, he was so
Oh,
good.
so good.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Phenomenal.
Anytime Skrewy's character need murdering.
I'll call up Silverquill and be like, hey, you want to kill Skrewy again?
Where and when?
This is the third time this season.
I imagine whenever the next time you guys see each other in person, it's just gonna be like, hey, remember that time I killed you?
I am interested in having Petravian see Cassius again.
Yeah.
Specifically
What?
because Vera's very jealous of Cassius,
That's true.
which is something that Vera typically is not. Vera is not usually jealous.
Jealous.
Yeah,
Vera's a very complex character.
because you have this love for this person who killed you when you have a family that has done, who would do pretty much anything for you, and she doesn't know what he has that the Hive can't give you.
Mm-hmm.
So she is straight up just
so
jealous of Cassius.
There's a very simple answer to that.
Oh yeah.
Well, maybe we should wait for that to come out in the story between the characters.
It's up to you.
Yeah. Let's wait.
Okay.
I mean, it seems pretty straightforward to me. There's tons of stuff that Cassius offers Petravian that Vera can't, because Petra has a bunch of questions about his past.
Yeah, but that
The Hive can't answer
But
those.
obviously, Vera can't even understand that as a
Right, yeah.
a mitigating factor.
When
It's like,
Vera's actively running away from her past, then the idea that someone wants to know more, I imagine, probably is really
Just-
alien for her.
It's just completely unfathomable.
I know Riz and Vera aren't like super close, but like, does them wanting to find their like past bother Vera?
no, because it's this like, it's particularly the obsession with like the family blood.
Okay. Family.
That's the issue. It's like that doesn't matter. That's
Mhm.
that person isn't you.
Yeah.
Why would you care? That's
And
Vera's
Vera-
mindset.
You have a family. It's
Yeah.
the Hive.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Since like
Vera presumably is doubly confused with Petravian still gravitating towards blood family when Vera knows that Petravian has had an adopted family and a second adopted family in the Hive, and yet still it's like you have no excuse at this
Damn.
point.
Damn boy,
Three
how much
adopted
family you
families.
need?
Well,
Sorry, you were going to say,
the
Keni?
Edenites, the party, and the Hive.
Well, I find
Yeah.
it very interesting because I know Grem said this a bunch of times. I don't know how many times it's been said on stream, but like enough times where like when we're just casually talking, it comes up that like at least season 1 was very much so about found family, and I feel even this season definitely has like a hard grip on what found family is, and having kind of Vera be more of a central focus for that nowadays is very interesting. But even with Kurla, I think is very interesting because Riz is fucking crazy, so it doesn't affect them as much, I think, as it does these two characters that are very similar yet very opposed in a lot of nature. And I think it just hardens down more of that's kind of what these people are about, that they're more lost in the world, and it's ever growing the more we've explored even.
Family is definitely a central
Yeah.
theme, I think, as you say, to both seasons, but especially this season.
Yeah.
Which moves us, I guess, to the next point.
Yeah, you
on
can't
the
avoid it forever.
talking points.
I was giving you a great segue.
You were, and I was resisting it as much as possible.
Go on.
Yeah.
Tell us about your daddy, dearest.
Let's work on your daddy issues.
Well, Curler certainly has daddy issues. Yeah. Enough said. Moving on.
No?
No.
All right, good enough. Moving on.
No, we had to grill Skrewy. It's your turn.
Feel free to grill me. I'm not sure what I can say about it.
So how did you feel after first seeing... What was that? Did someone ask something?
No, sorry, I was trying to...
No
you're good.
singing when other people are talking, Screwifer. God. Okay, so... What was... I know you had a whole week to kind of compile your reaction after seeing Duru for the first time. Do you think this aided you in being able to think about it, or would you have preferred to have just reacted in the moment?
I think, as a player, the extra week helped, but at the same time, it's been brewing, I think, since finding out that he was still alive.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta thank Beardy for having given Curler that kind of opportunity, because initially, as I recall you saying, in Palayana, he was supposed to be there as well, but you made the decision in the moment that it fit better that he be the one to kill the leader and that he be off. And that would have been kind of overwhelming, I think, trying to play both dynamics with both parents, whereas in this, I got to have Curler meet with the mother, find out that he killed, that the father, killed the leader and went off, and then I've had since then, as Curler, to kind of digest what that means, because they've got really complicated feelings towards their father, and that just complicates them further. Sorry, you were going to say, Beardy?
No, you got it. I was just going to summarize the events that had happened, but yeah, no, you're good.
So at that point, they're of encountering Duro in Prota, they're trying to balance this idea that, hey, their father finally came to their defense and killed off the leader and has been looking for them, with all of the bitterness towards their father from before that. And I don't think that they can reconcile those two things because they haven't had enough time and experience with this newer version of Duru. And so that older conception of Duru, the one who was this absent father figure, won out in that moment, and that kind of bitterness and anger flowed pretty freely.
I just threatened him, so it's like,
which I appreciated. Thank you.
So the thing is that happens a lot. I don't know if the other players do this. This is just how I play as a player. A lot of times when people go into private conversations, I start zoning out because my character isn't there. And, like, I mentally don't want to know what the conversation is. A lot of times, if I don't think it will affect me, I'll listen. But if I'm like, if I know something that happens in here, it might affect me. So I'm going to start zoning out. And usually I'm just listening for the way people's voices change, for, like, the reactions on my face. And then I'm, like, in some other fucking world normally. So pretty much me going in as Riz after Kurla was just, Kurla seems upset. I'm going to yell at this guy. That's it.
That was a tough scene.
Yeah.
And perhaps got more real than I had intended. I do want to say, for the record, I don't have that adversarial a relationship with my own father. And I was kind of deliberately amplifying the emotions as much as possible because I think that they suited what Kurla was feeling in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, the more general sort of abandonment issues, I think those played a role. And I think, Keni, you can speak a little bit to D&D being therapeutic and real-life trauma coming into the way characters behave in certain situations. I think we all can.
Thank you, Beardy, for making my dad or Soul's dad a good person who actually really, really cared about them. Because boy, howdy, did I need that.
So I'll just say that there have been very few times DMing a group of people where, like, a player's reaction will be so full of like real emotion that it like gets to me, and that's only happened a couple of times, where like I will have a reaction because of my player's reaction, right? Where like
It goes
it'll
through the
get
character
past-
back to you.
it goes through the character and hits me directly, and that was one of them. So kudos.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also, I'm
Are
sorry.
you okay,
No.
Beardy?
Like that much like directed like contempt and hatred was really affecting. Like that was good. So
Thank you.
well played.
He got a double dose of it too.
Yeah, and then it's like one
Bam,
after the other,
bam.
and it's- Yeah.
And here's Petravian in episode 34 is like, I could break his legs.
I could break his legs if you want.
Yeah.
Just saying.
But at the
Everyone's
same
like
time,
up
it's
to bat to
brutalizing.
like kill Duru
Yeah.
for girls.
Levette could
I wasn't
brutalize
saying.
him
I
in
didn't say I
melee,
want to
like-
kill him. I
No.
just
But
rough him out a
Petravian's
little
been
bit.
known
But I mean,
to
like,
not
if-
kill but end up killing people.
Yeah, but he's just like he's a low level NPC. Like you guys, even the weakest member of the party could beat him in a fist fight.
Wait,
Like,
who's the
it's not
weakest
that-
member of the party?
Levette. Like physically.
Oh, okay.
okay.
Like, physically weakest member of the party, Levette, could still kick his ass with like bare
The
fists because
crossbow.
you guys are
The
level
crossbow.
15.
But the
But
fact
my,
that
my
they've-
point is that you guys are
He has the HP
significantly
of a
stronger than
Cheez-It.
yeah.
The
he
fact
probably
that-
does.
Kurla's now got all of that off their chest, though, and the fact that the party, their found family, has their back in this, I think gives space now for Kurla to reassess their view of this person. Like, they had to get all of that out before anything new about this person could enter their brain.
Mhm.
And who knows where things will go from there. I as a player, want to know more about what Duru has been up to and how he has changed. But Kurla had a lot to get out first. But we'll see where things go from here.
Yeah.
Thank you
Oh,
for bearing with me in that scene, everyone.
It's all
Oh,
good.
no, it's fine. I'm only sad because I love like verbally combating with people when I'm angry. And it was such like a deflating moment having Riz come in like ready to beat this guy up verbally, and he's just like, yeah, I'm awful. And it was just like, oh, the wind is out of my sails. I kind of feel bad yelling at you now.
But I am glad that it came across that it was emotionally impactful, because I had been really concentrating and thinking about how Kurla was feeling, and I wanted to get across what had been brewing. So I'm kind of pleased that it
It
didn't
was
just-
intense.
I'm kind of pleased that it didn't fall completely flat. I hope that it was compelling.
It very much was.
So
I
we've
was
said
sitting
about
there watching, being like, "Fuck! I can't emote in this game enough. I need to step up my own game."
Yeah, I mean it you know, definitely pushes things forward.
Mhm.
That's for sure.
So anyway, that's enough said about Duru, because this is awful.
Of course, don't worry. There's more in episode 34.
Oh,
But
thanks.
continuing on, we, after deciding we were going to take Faustus's hero challenge, win
I like that. It
off.
sounds like a weight loss plan. Fastest 12-week hero. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kenny.
We got taken to a smaller arena to fight vampires and skeletons, and everyone seemed really, really bored. Even before the fight started.
Now,
In
you
the
mean the
audience.
audience members,
Yeah.
not us as players.
No, in the audience, and not our viewers, because I love you. No, the audience in the game were very bored, it seemed already, like even before the fight started. Like, why do they even come there if it's boring? I don't understand.
Also, they should
Well,
probably
it's just
fire.
your-
They should probably fire that like main announcer that
yeah,
was
he
there.
sucks.
'Cause
Yes.
he didn't know what he was doing, and
He's
a new one.
hilarious.
Yep.
It's gonna be Detlef. I'd rather have Detlef as an announcer than that guy. Fuck that guy.
I would rather be Fortune's flavor than have Detlef be the announcer.
I love being Fortune's flavor, by the way, and that's going on the wiki as a redirect as soon as I remember to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad Fortune Slaver came up.
Yeah, well, of course
Yes.
you are. You made it up.
I did.
But the first bite, we had to do was vampires and
Skelly
bone
boys.
golems. Was it bone golems?
Bone horrors,
Yeah.
bone golems, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which was a lot. Thankfully, my chain lightning exists.
Mhm. Yeah, y'all thrashed him pretty hard.
Yeah. Although I wasn't super thrilled when Petravian got dominated personed.
Yep.
I'm so sorry.
Well, you weren't in
I mean,
control.
it didn't turn out too bad. Yeah, you don't have to worry about it. I'm the one who got the brunt of that shit. Just turned around and started clubbing the gnome.
It was
It's
kind
like-
of
Whack-a-gnome.
a wonderful mental image. I'm sorry, Graham. It's like, I don't want Levette to get hurt. Oh, well.
I just imagine Petravian taking Levette by like the coat, throwing out it like a baseball.
So the way Chisel got thrown in 32, it's just hurled and no.
Jeez.
I
Okay,
felt
see,
bad
now-
for Levette in that moment, actually. It's like the character who's going to get hurt the most from that. And that's the one that Petravian
What
turns on.
hurts the most?
If so, the way Beardy flavored it was that I had to attack, and that's fine. If I had the choice, I probably would have taken what Cassius had done to Petra and done exactly that, taken them and just yeet.
How did
But
you? Okay, sorry. So dominate person. I know you're being told to do something, but it's still like anything going against your nature seems weird. So does that mean yeeting Levette isn't against Petravian's natural nature?
Correct.
Do we even need to ask that question?
I just feel so bad.
We saw how mad he was when he was short. That wasn't. I'm not. I don't believe that was all the evil.
Yeah.
No.
Does it go against the
No.
nature, or is it just things that can harm you?
I think
No.
Petra wants to yeet the Levette inside himself.
You can't kill yourself when you're dominated. I know
Yeah.
that.
It's
Yes.
anything that you would be strongly averse to doing.
Yeah, I don't know why I
Me too.
tried that on my mom.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing is that we need a non-canon April Fool's episode where just random shit like Petravian finally eating Levette.
I mean, we
Happens.
already have battle
Yeah.
royales that we do casually from time to time. That's when we do it.
That's true.
we get all of our fucking frustrations out.
I don't. Because all of
Uh,
my
you did
frustrations
one.
are emotionally.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say you did one that you were very proud of when Petravian went through that door.
Oh, that was cool.
Oh, that was the very first battle royale we did. Yeah.
Yeah, you really enjoyed that one.
Well, that's because I got to camp and be a little shit.
Yes.
We're both playing our power fantasy characters in this season, so
Mm.
because you know
Mhm,
sometimes you're working
mhm.
through stuff and sometimes you just want to be a strong baddie. Mine just happens to be a squishy strong baddie.
I like playing a strong baddie. They just can't hit anything.
You can't hit shit because you can't roll.
No, literally,
Strong
it
bad?
is less
Email.
than a coin flip for me to hit something
I'm
most
so
of the time.
sorry.
I have to like, roll probably
Wow,
typically a
yeah.
15 to hit anything.
But when you do, you fucking
When I
rain hell
do, I do
down.
12 damage.
Yeah, you do better than that. Don't
I
you? Sometimes.
does Mellifera's sting need to get upgraded, or is it just
I think
like
Vera just needs to get upgraded.
I mean, honestly, a lot of it comes down to the class.
Yeah,
like a
Vera's a druid.
druid is not meant to be like a
Amazing.
frontline fighting
No.
character.
But Xeno was
That's not
like,
what they're good at.
hold my soda. This is what I'm doing. Like, first episode
It-
was
it
like,
is
I'm
what
gonna
I
be a
want.
tank.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's cool, and I think
Yeah.
that there's definitely room to make like a hybrid druid fighter.
Yeah.
But that already exists, and it's called a ranger.
Well,
So,
the thing is that like druids, in my experience, you can like, it's not a bad class for that either, because they
No,
can
it's-
be a
there's a
jack of
lot of-
all trades. They're really
yeah,
good
there's a
at
lot
that.
of things they can do to buff themselves. Like they have some excellent spells
Well,
that they can do some crazy cool shit with. To
I
make
think
them really
Vera's
fantastic.
strength is that she has a lot of options at her disposal.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
she's not one of the full casty druids or like a wild shape focused druid. She's playing every angle, and so it's
Right.
going to be less damage per attack, but a lot more options every situation.
Yeah, completely.
It's true.
Which I mean, with this last fight with the elephants was fucking incredibly helpful.
But we gotta talk about Hydras first.
We managed to put away the vampires and the skeletons fairly.
Pretty easily. Like, I wasn't
Easily.
too worried.
Destroyed
And so we were
the,
lulled into a wonderfully false sense of confidence and decided to do an
Uh-huh.
encore battle
I didn't
right
want
then and
to.
there.
My sense of confidence was not false. I had a great time fighting the Hydras and would have been fine fighting more.
I would not have had enough for these fucking mammoths if we had kept going. Oh,
Especially with how that
No,
well,
yeah.
yeah, the mammoths. No, I don't want to fight any more mammoths, but the fucking Hydras were like, not too bad. Especially what we learned at the end. They could have sent 10 more Hydras at us, and if they were close enough to get into a slow clump, then that would have been like sending one more Hydra after us.
That's
So,
true.
They were nasty though, and that I guess
They were.
brings us into episode 34, since we ended 33 with the Hydras coming out, and then 34 opened right there in media res with us having to tackle the damn things.
Yep. Which, as it turns out, they did exactly the amount of damage and were exactly as dangerous as I was hoping they would be.
okay, that's good.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
the
a
Hydras
second fight.
performed.
Fun fight.
The Hydras performed exactly how I was hoping, like to the almost
got
to
a
the
cool
perfect
fight.
number.
I
They were great.
I enjoyed starting the fight just being like, I don't want this one on the field.
Yeah, critical disintegrate. How crazy is that?
Just Thanos
Just one
snap
shot at one.
everything all the
Just-
time.
Hit it with a beam, it just turns to dust, and it's like
You
critical.
Hakusho'd that poor thing.
I don't want to bring
Yeah,
Yu Yu
it's
Hakusho
gone.
in here.
You blew your crit disintegrate though in that battle, and then it kind of came back to bite us in the
Well, it
third.
didn't
But we'll get to
bite
that.
me in the ass.
Use-
It's not like I failed and hit one of you guys. That would be awkward.
Yeah, it's the
No.
dice.
Riz used spirit gun. It's great.
No. Not my thing.
Oh,
That's
my
finger
I will-
of
You're,
death,
you're,
if
you're more
anything?
of a Kuwabara type. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know what that means.
Wow.
I don't get it either.
You're
Beardy.
joking. Everyone knows it's Kurama.
No! Fuck
Yeah, I was
Kurama!
gonna say, Riz is Rama, for sure.
What do you mean? Kurama?
Oh,
I mean,
sorry, I thought you were
literally,
talking about Hiei for a second.
No, I mean, like,
Everyone
literally,
likes
like,
Hiei.
like literally like fuck Kurana, right?
Is this a
Fuck the throw,
Pokemon
right?
thing?
I mean,
Why,
Come on.
why would you say Pokemon?
We're talking about Yu Yu Hakusho still. Like, it's not...
Yeah.
We haven't changed the anime yet. It's,
anime.
as,
'cause I was being
oh,
a
my
dork, that's
face
why I
is
said
warm.
Pokemon.
Shut the fuck up. I don't want to talk about Hot Fox Femboy anymore.
Well, shit, I do now. Now you've got my attention. What show is this?
Oh yeah, it's Yu Yu
Um,
Hakusho. It's, yeah.
Also, the fucking, like, announcer girls were always...
Oh my God, Jury.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Send me a link to this show, please.
I don't know.
We-
It's old. I don't know where to find it
It's an
anymore.
old fucking show. It might be on Crunchyroll still, but I
Prob-
don't
I
I'll
don't
find it.
fucking know.
If need be, I'll
Yu
find
Yu
it.
Hakusho's on, I think, Netflix or Amazon Prime.
Anyway.
Okay.
But continuing
go.
on to things that are
Yes.
our show.
Yes.
I'd like to point out how ineffective I was, and to a lesser extent, Vera was, because they were able to get that one flame thing, the one flame strike. Yeah, just ineffectual. Just bonk.
Well, Petravian didn't actually attack anything.
Yeah, he
Like at
you,
all.
you were trying to do your
No.
spells more. I don't think you tacticsed it out
I'm
very
not sure
well.
what that was. I'm not sure what your plan was in that fight, to be honest. 'cause, like, you didn't
I
really
was
do
trying to
anything.
back off. Basically what I did with the mammoths later on was back off, greater invisibility, get back into the fight, and ba 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 ba.
The mammoths, it made sense, but I think you underestimate how chonky your boy is. Like,
Yeah,
if
I
anyone's
think
gonna be
they're, like,
taking hits to the face,
Way
it's you.
too afraid to take hits.
I mean,
Yeah.
at most, it seemed, based on the damage output, Petra could only take 2 rounds
Two.
of hits, and then he'd be dead.
Yeah.
But even still, in the same instance, I think you switched places with Vera, which didn't really help out that much.
It was cool though.
But
It's cool.
you kind of
It
came
was a more
in
RP kind of situation.
and we're like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm gonna start doing these spells, and it's like, why'd you get close then?
To get Vera out.
Vera's over here
Is
like,
that-
God damn it, I didn't get to scythe anything.
Yeah. And it's like, in that same turn, like, you may have been able, instead of swapping places, you might have been able to get around and flank with Vera against that
Yeah.
Hydra. And then you would have given yourself each other bonuses to hit the thing. And you would have also split its attacks between the two of you.
And also, Vera also has acid on her scythe, which would have stopped
Hmm.
So
regeneration.
that's what's in the honey.
Yeah, there's
I
no-
viewed it as a more RP kind of moment for Petra.
I don't know. Yeah, you can go for
That's
that.
fine. I mean, you're allowed
mean,
to
we
do what
won.
you do.
Here's what
Yeah.
I'd say. I say don't ask. Is this the right move? Like, if it's something
Yeah.
Petra would do, just do it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
also
that's
just do
what I
it
did.
faster.
Wow.
Look,
I
I,
will
want
say that-
combat to be smooth. I
Yeah,
already have my spells planned out, and I'm waiting for the combat character. That doesn't make any
Okay.
sense.
No.
Like
I-
if you and if you don't know what you want to do in your turn, and you're like, oh shit, I mean, if you haven't, like, I've been there too, where I have just a million options and I haven't picked one at all. So I realize that there's I only have so much leeway to talk, but like, if you don't know what to do and you're running out of time, your character is trying to decide even faster. They have
yeah.
6 seconds. So like,
Go with the
Just
first gut instinct.
first gut instinct. Yeah,
Well, that was the
exactly.
thing. I was trying to decide between the two options that I
Right.
wanted to do, and I was just
Yeah, and
And
I've been
just go with
there.
it.
But like, yeah, you just gotta pick one, go with it, and just
Yep.
be like, all right, well, hope it doesn't kill me.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
So,
what I-
partway through that fight, after you guys knocked out, well, the one in the east was down. The
Like
two in the
first.
south had been hit by a couple of really nasty things, including that fire elemental, which was a nice choice.
Thanks.
Once that happened, the two in the south were pretty messed up, and that's when Riz decided to switch targets and assist in the west, and pulled out a pretty interesting spell.
So this is the first time that I've used a 7th level spell. I've been wanting to for a while. I used to have change weather,
Really sad.
and I wanted to make a fucking flood in the underground, but no one let me do it last time, so I never got to use my first 7th level spell. So it's just been sitting there in my pocket, like these other spells I have, because they haven't been needed yet per se, and it's very... It's a little situational / these are my last ones that I use.
Resorts.
Yeah. So, threw down, and I turned into a dragon, and I gave Beardy full control on what that dragon was going to be. He asked me what I wanted, and I was like, if anything, like, it can either do lightning, or it has to be, like, a true neutral dragon. Have fun. I'm going to let you spice this, because Riz doesn't even really get who they are, so I don't think they should know what kind of dragon they turn into.
And the answer was Sapphire.
And it's so
So-
cool to see that again.
Does Greater Polymorph turn you into a medium creature no matter what you turn into?
It
No.
has
Or
different...
was it just that dragon turned out to be medium?
The dragon turned out to be medium. It has like beast shape 4, plant shape 3, I
It's
think.
like plant shape 3, elemental body 2, or
Yeah.
or form of the dragon 1.
Yeah.
So in this case, it was form of the dragon 1, which turns you into a medium dragon.
See,
But I
So,
really
no
wa-
matter what dragon, it would have been medium sized.
I
like
see. So
dragons.
if it would
Gotcha.
turn to something other than a dragon, it would
Yeah.
have been larger. But I
I,
see.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
really
yeah.
wanted the breath weapon because I hate being closer.
Mhm.
So that's why I figured dragon was probably the best choice in this instance.
6d8 lightning bolt. Good stuff.
Unfortunately,
I
it
was
like-
curious. See, I didn't know if it was like a conservation of.
They didn't have
mass
like
kinda
a
thing.
resistance to white lightning though.
not resistance. They just didn't stop the healing.
Well, that's fine. You guys had taken that care of already.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it wasn't that big of a deal that it was lightning. Oh no, it
Mhm.
wasn't super tactical.
Part of me
It's fine.
wants to apologize for my like delight in dragon, and part of me just is like, no, because oh my god, it's so fucking
No.
cool to see a dragon. I know Kenny, you and I are like the only ones who actually like dragons for some reason, but
Well,
I
Vera
was-
doesn't like dragons.
I was
don't-
delighted.
And I'll say this every time: dragons are cool. It's not cool to see a dragon in D&D because they can fucking kill you in like one hit because they're a fucking dragon.
But this one's on our side and is
Well, I don't think
adorable.
Vera was
Adorable.
bothered by
Small.
it since they knew it was Vera or
Oh, no.
Riz. Yeah.
It's just when it's an actual dragon, when it's an
Which-
issue.
I just need to interject and say how incredibly interesting it is that Riz decided to like ham up being a dragon.
They were role playing a
Riz-
dragon.
Riz was just
Yeah.
doing some
love
RP
it so
sesh on
much.
the side.
Yeah.
That made me so happy.
Did you guys ever think that maybe Riz is just tired of being like too much of a straight man and needed a break?
No,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but we
I
found
would
Oh,
very
out
much
that
think that.
When they tried to lick Ethereal Levette's face, that is a memory that she has stored that may come up later.
It's like, why did you do that? I don't know. It
Yeah,
sounded fun. Like it sounded like a dragon thing to do. What do you want from me?
I feel like the conversation will be more like, do you need to have more fun? Are you worried? Are you trying too hard to be an adult?
Are you
Cut
adulting
loose.
too
No,
hard?
I can't soul into this.
He's gonna do
Do
this
we,
to
need
Soul.
do we need to have a spa or beach episode to like
Yes.
unwind Riz?
Oh god.
Hey!
Yes.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how
Yeah.
comfortable everyone's gonna be with all the markings on their arms.
That would be that's definitely probably more up Riz alley than what I had in mind, so that's better.
I do enjoy seeing Riz cut loose for the same reason I thought the all of us getting blazed in the Vardo was quite a fun scene as well.
That was the best.
Sure. I was busy in anxiety mode being like, just keep him happy so that he doesn't break the spell because I have him controlled right now.
Yeah, that could have been
And
bad.
it worked. It worked.
But,
I
okay,
had to
okay,
let go
here-
of Riz's like more proper manners to have them be like, all right, this is what I need to do to get this to work. Fuck, I hate this.
Play that situation out. If it failed, he would have gotten out. He would have still probably
No, you
marched
would have
off
been
to.
stuck in the Vardo still.
Oh, that's true. So he still would have gotten. We still would have gone to the guards, the guard gate thing, and he would have then still been captured. Because actually, he probably would have just said his name. Because fuck
Well,
them.
Vera would have already have had that spell for getting rid of your evil part.
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's
and
not
that wasn't a
that.
bad
It's
day.
just it was just being able to control you for one fucking day, and that was apparently enough for Riz. But boy, did they get some interesting information out of you.
Yeah. Oh boy, indeed.
I'm gonna talk to Mask
stuff.
at some point, or sorry, Cloak at some point. I need to read
Oh.
Yeah,
you.
fun.
You and your
Get some-
conversations with Cloak.
Oh, Dish.
I mean,
This one is a free one because it's an apology for the last time. Petravian has a crush on Vera.
Right, there was that there, wasn't there?
Oh my god.
I'd forgotten that. Shit. Oh, that is dishy.
oh yeah, that's the juicy deeds. yeah.
Right?
Oh my god, you guys.
So-
I mean,
But just as backtracking back to the dragon part, I just think it's cool that we got to see a Sapphire Dragon again, which we haven't seen since we were in the underground of the fucking Steam Isle, where
Blue Eyes Red Dragon.
Blue Eyes White Dragon, as Xeno calls it, where Marcus became a crispy chicky nuggy.
Was that a sapphire
Yeah.
dragon or was that an
Oh, I thought
amethyst?
that
You
was
said it
dragon.
was
That
a
was a crystal
Sapphire Dragon.
Oh, I did? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
And this
Cool.
time you didn't have to bribe your way out with, what was it?
Oh.
Porn, cigars, and booze?
Correct.
Yep.
And drugs, too.
Porn,
Wasn't there some news
drugs,
in there, too?
and alcohol. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe specifically in the recording you used the word sapphire.
Okay. I mean, sure. I don't really recall specifically, so
I thought
I
it
just remembered
was
it was some form of gem.
It's either that or you told me that later on that it was supposed to be sapphire, and then it's always just stuck with me because I hold on to the one information piece all the time.
I just remember Marcus trying to dad Vera into leaving food for the salamander people.
The salamanders, that's right. And
Yeah.
he was like, "We are leaving this food." And it's like, they don't want it. What the fuck?
They don't want it.
I remember listening to that in my car. I was driving either from Boston to DC or the other way around and just laughing my ass off at that disagreement.
That was
I
a
nearly
good
had to-
disagreement.
I
I
nearly had
liked
to
that.
pull
That
over
was
'cause I was
Marcus
laughing
was like
so hard.
bipolar because like sometimes he'd be like just chill with everything, and then suddenly he'd be very adamant about like one specific thing that none of the party wanted to do, and it's like, dude, what part of your soul is like doing this right now? Because he needs to chill.
You all know Marcus didn't have a soul.
Well,
He had a lot of
he
them.
ate.
And
He had a lot.
He
of
had
soul.
What a
one.
garbage. Yeah.
No, he had more than that. Let's be honest. It's
That's
not just
true, yeah.
Garvin.
Yeah, there's
I-
probably a lot more in there.
Fucking lost soul.
You turned me around on Marcus, I have to say, as a huge tangent, because I hated him so much at the beginning, and I actually did kind of like him by the end. So, well done.
Kind of.
what a ringing endorsement.
Damned
I'll
by
take it.
faint praise, but
Yeah.
you'll take it. I knew you would, Skrewy. You're a good sport.
Oh boy.
I will take
Speaking-
any praises I can get. Okay.
Well, moving on from that fight, we regrouped at Faustus's and relaxed for the evening.
Party at Faustus.
Woo! He's got good food.
Yeah. It's got good food.
Which he says he can't eat it all, but I press X to doubt on that shit.
Yeah, I think he
He
probably
might be able to
could.
eat it all.
I think
He's
he's
pretty
shitting
good at
us.
this.
There's definitely, after the second time we met him and he seemed like less enthusiastic, I was like, all right, I feel like something more is here, but I'm gonna wait. I still am entirely delighted by this man, though. He is so fucking
Is he
weird.
Is he getting tired
I
of us?
don't
Are we
like
not
how he
providing as
breaks
much
my ears,
entertainment?
though.
Sorry, that was me. That wasn't the character. That was me. Don't blame Faustus for the DM's
No, I
fuck.
blame Faustus.
No.
He hurt my ears. He hurt
My
my elf
ears.
ears.
My poor ears.
They're so long.
But some interesting conversations happened that night, and I'm realizing, looking over the notes, that I actually forgot one of them, and I think it happened afterwards, but I'll put it in there. We are going to have to talk about Archie and his ongoing existential crises.
Ooh.
That's true.
But
Oh, buddy.
We don't have to.
But we will.
If we forgot, we can just move on.
you thought you escaped, but no.
Oh,
If I had to
buddy.
talk about Dura, then
Don't
you have to
worry.
talk about Archie.
We can talk about how Kurla just avoided the room with Duru in it and instead, like, started berating a poor servant about their life there.
I wasn't berating them.
It
I
was
Yeah.
so
cons-
much.
That is not the word at all. I
It
was
was just like,
concerned about them.
They're just doing their job and you're like, hey, you get treated well here?
Kurla was showing concern for
Would you
them
like
in
to?
a really cack-handed way,
Ah,
which
yes,
is
the
how
scary
Kurla shows
half-orc.
concern for people generally.
I'm trying to think, like, if I was at work and
Yeah.
then some random person who doesn't work at, like, my factory came up to me and is like, hey, you treated well here? I'd be like,
Yeah, I would think they're a narc.
What the
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
about right.
I'd be
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
are
Oh,
you
you're a cop.
OSHA?
like, if it was someone who worked there, I'd be like, okay, they care. But it's like, if it's someone I don't know, I'm like,
Who the fuck are
this
you?
fishy as fuck.
Like, you're a plant.
You're a plant.
It was what is it?
What's it
Boss in
called?
secret boss or boss undercover, whatever the hell that. I've not
Bossing
seen
safe.
it, but I've heard about it. It's like,
There is
That's
no war
the
there,
one.
no.
There's no war.
but yeah,
Undercover
Kurla
boss.
is bad at
Correct,
showing concern for people even when they really mean it. What can I
So
say?
that-
That was a really fun moment.
Maybe
Kurla
not
asks all these questions,
strange.
pulls down the zipper, and it's Faustus underneath.
Oh!
You're fired!
No complaints here. You're off the premises.
I'm sending you to my mines.
Bring me the chocolate.
I love this man.
I'll have you over a hot spit this evening and dine on you tomorrow. No,
Oh god, I hope he's not a cannibal. I think that.
No. Oh God,
Well,
no,
I mean,
no,
if
I
he
can't
only
think of
eats
his...
like elves, Oriats, half elves, and
Well, I
gnomes,
guess
then
the
that's not
church
cannibalism,
used to
is
do
it?
that,
It's
so
not.
it's
Do
fine.
we
you
had
find
a-
the name?
Half
Thing
elf would be
is-
partially cannibalistic.
It's half cannibalism.
That's only half,
Yeah.
though. It's forgivable.
well, my
He'd be a
Kurla's conversation with
demi-cannibal.
Petravian that ensued after that it was a little bit more successful, and I don't think Petravian thought I was a narc, so I'm 1 for 2 on that.
Well, you know him, so I sure hope not. You're not a stranger, right?
but
You're not a cop, are you?
You have to tell me if you're a
Don't
cop.
be a
You have to
It's
tell
law.
me if a cop.
yeah, I'd tell you if I was a
That's
cop.
just the law.
That's the huge reveal. Actually, Kurla's been a cop this whole time. Yeah.
Fuck.
But Petravian, you had
Yes.
some interesting things to say about family and purpose.
Yeah. Y-
That I think
See-
came as kind of a surprise. Your definition of family was definitely not one that aligned with Kurla or some of the players.
Yeah.
Rewind and watch Keni cry. Like, get angry and then cry.
And I feel I as I'm saying it, I'm like, oh shit, I feel really bad, but I just gotta power through this and not look. And I'm very
For the viewers
sorry.
who don't know, I have a terrible relationship with my family. I'm touchy and have daddy issues. I also think that's a funny fact, though, because trauma equals I'm funnier.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean I'm
That's
stronger,
why they
though.
call it traumedy, right? Wait.
Traumedy? Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Comedy is just tragedy plus time.
No, it's not
No.
time. That's still
And I
happening.
do feel bad.
I'll hush up. Just talk about what you talked about.
So
Pringle?
happening.
Defensive
It,
mechanism.
Petravian, for all intents and purposes, had a really good working relationship with his parents, and it was, which led to his assholey anger issues, I think, because they were so brutally murdered. Because he goes all not angsty emo, just more rage, anger, and he focused it into when he went into the Legion, and then he got out of the Legion because of said anger, but still had those lingering anger issues, and now we're coming all full circle into peace.
And then more anger issues.
And then more anger. It's that wheel. I can only hope that he can help others the way his parental unit helped him.
Do you think that any of what Kurla was saying about purpose struck home with Petravian, or is he still going to be waiting for a sign from the gods as to what he should be doing next? Because he's kind of had a sign, hasn't he?
Yeah, no, he understands what his purpose is in the grand scheme now. Not a purpose that was bestowed upon him, but what he has come to believe his purpose is, and he's not going to. He has seen the signs. He has heard he has heard the suggestions. He has heard what he should be doing.
They weren't suggestions.
They weren't suggestions, but he feels the purpose within him now, rather than, yeah.
I've got a question about that conversation. That kind of, I'm almost hesitant to ask this because I feel like bringing your attention to it might cause some reactions in character that you might not have had if you didn't.
Because you do that.
Because that can happen. But it was really peculiar to me that Kurla was like, "Oh, what was your relationship with your father like?" And Petra didn't go, "I never knew my dad, but this is what the dad who raised me was like." He just immediately started talking about the parents who raised him. And it struck me as peculiar because I feel like when he's fighting Cassius and he's like desperate to know about his past, but I feel like that was kind of an indicator to me that he's actually not, that he really doesn't care and just cares because like you should know who your parents are, but like it's clear that he sees the parents that raised him as his parents and doesn't there are plenty of characters who would say, yeah, I didn't know my father, but this person who raised me was really good. Like, hell, if Levette was in the same situation, that's how she would respond. But
no, that's dead on. And the desire, it's an innate desire to know where one comes from, as it were, like not necessarily of any blood and any sort of relations necessarily, but what was the sequence of events that led me to be with the people that I was with.
Yeah, I totally get that.
So if you're familiar with that dichotomy, if you're aware of it yourself, then is Petra aware of it? Does he realize that, like, even though he's been asking about his parents, that, like, I want to say for you that he doesn't care, but that's certainly what it looks like for me, from my perspective, is that it's just about knowing and that's it.
It's about knowing to know oneself better.
Does Petra see it that way, or does he feel like there's something really, like some major investment to be gained out of finding this out? Does he feel like he's going to know himself? Like, do you think he's going to know himself better if he finds out?
Maybe.
Does it maybe
would-
depend
That's what
on what he
we might
finds
see.
out?
I don't think it would change him, but it would. I don't think it would change him because he knows who he is now. But just having a complete picture of oneself, he would feel it's a complete kind of feeling. Like, you know that you're adopted. It's like, well, there's a whole chunk of my existence that in the air. I'd like to know where I have my memories up from this point on, what happened before then. And
What if
for Petra, that's, I think, where it's at.
what if we
I'm
filled
curious.
that entire void with bees instead?
Yeah, you don't need
Be one with the void.
to find out. You just gotta fill it with other things that bring you joy.
Like bees and
Like
Jojo.
horse.
Bees and Jojo.
I
I
mean,
don't remember.
yeah, I'm curious to see if that develops, if Petra gets those answers and stuff, because my character went through the same sort of path not too long ago of being like, oh, I don't know anything about my own heritage, and then finding out and being like,
Yeah, how'd that go?
My heritage
am I
sucks.
different?
How'd that go?
yeah, my heritage kind of sucks.
Um,
Am I different now?
For Petra, more so it's okay. It's knowing who his biological lineage was. If that biological lineage tied into why my parents were killed. So it's he would like to know that other stuff to know it, but okay, does that tie into why my parents were killed, and who do I need to have a discussion with?
What if your
The discussion is
biological
bashing
parents
his head.
killed your adoptive parents?
Both?
No. What if? What if your biological parents killed your adoptive parents? What if they were the ones?
Well, I mean, this is player knowledge, but Cassius literally had like a memory at the end when he finally remembered, which he saw his dead father on the ground. That looks like Petravian.
Ah, good point.
I don't
So
know
we
about
know
the
that-
mom, but like,
We don't know about the mother.
I'm just saying, player knowledge wise, I already know that person's dead. I mean, we all know because Riz was like, yeah, you don't have any fucking parents. Bye.
Yeah, I mean, Riz already
And-
confirmed that your bio parents are dead.
Yeah.
Yes.
Spoilers.
But we don't know, did they cause them to die? Did the mother kill my
Or
adopted
was it the same
parents?
culprits?
Maybe Cassie's killed all of them.
Yeah, right.
He's
Probably
been
Cassius. Probably.
putting up a
Just
nice
Winter
guy act
Sol-
for this whole
Just
thing.
Winter
And he's-
soldiering that shit?
Yeah,
No, he's-
Cassius, even as a tiny child, just murdered everyone because he's just that damn deadly.
Yeah.
Cassius, there are 3 flowers in a vase. The first flower is green. Shit, he's activated.
Well, the question is, I mean, there's also a question of, were those parents even like good parents?
The bio or the
Yeah.
bio ones, right? Yeah. Don't know.
We don't know,
It's-
but like, I don't think we can assume that they're good or bad. It's just like they're just a huge mystery, and my gut feeling is that was a traumatic event. Probably seeing his father die and probably like close that up. Don't want to see that anymore. Now that's broken loose, but yeah, what led to that? And I think that'll be very interesting, and I wonder when we'll get to talk to Cassius or if Errol just kill him right away.
I mean, obviously, I can't kill him that fast. He could kill Vera in one swing.
He's got like 450 hit points.
Yeah,
or
he has,
something.
Holy
he has the HP of a
Dragon?
like dragon,
Of
like a first
of a
level
dire
dragon.
mammoth.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's got the HP of like 3 dire mammoths.
Mm.
I just appreciate.
So-
I do appreciate you having given me some stuff to think about, or rather, given Curler some stuff to think about in that conversation. So thank you for.
My pleasure. I didn't get to, or not get to, but I chose to hold off talking to Malephera until I can.
Why did you
Mellifera.
say it that way?
Thank you.
I
I,
don't
I almost
know.
corrected you, so I'm at least glad you corrected
Oh, no.
yourself.
No, Beardy said who.
Mellifera.
Mellifera. Sorry. I will be talking with them once I have talked to Vera first. So
I mean, you kind of need her staff. Anyway.
Why don't you want to talk to me now?
That's great.
We can work through this.
because
Everyone's equal to work things out together.
Is there some reason you want to talk to Vera before you want to talk to me about it?
What does she have that I don't have?
Can Mellifera host Checkpoint from now on?
All right, that's my job. Bye. I've been demoted. Congratulations, Mellifera. You're now the new host.
Yeah, you're
So-
competing with a literal god. I'm sorry.
I'm okay with this.
So Archie had some issues.
No, but seriously.
All right, Melly, let's not fucking that one up.
No, seriously, because
I'm demoting you again.
I wanted to get Levette's perspective on father figures as well, but then Levette was already having kind of a heavy conversation
Oh, I
with
was
their
actually hoping
robot
to have that
friend.
conversation. Maybe it will happen.
It'll happen, I hope. But
Yeah.
for now, Archie
Yeah, it was
needed
pretty heavy.
Archie's daddy.
There's probably
yeah.
nothing like in Vera's history that matters, like family-wise. It doesn't matter.
I mean, Carola would approach Vera about it, but Carola's pretty sure Vera would tell him to f off.
That's very
So-
perceptive.
Yeah. But, I mean, Grem, if you don't want to talk about that conversation, that's cool, but...
Oh no, I'm fine with it. I mean, I found out Archie wants to die. That was great. Like, cool.
I mean, I don't
That's-
know.
He wants to
That's
die
not what I took from
eventually.
it.
He might want to die. Right. Well, that's the thing is that like now I'm gonna have to ask him straight up. That was my thought. I was like, wait, does Archie want to die? And I was like, this is a thing you spread out. I will save that for another conversation next time we talk about it. But like, that's what's on Levette's mind. She's like, oh, well, now on the side with this whole saving the world thing and this whole arena hero thing and all of my other party's things, I also got to figure out how to either help Archie die when is the right time for him to die or make myself immortal, whichever is easier.
But I mean, it's important to draw a line
awesome.
between him wanting to die and wanting to be able to die. It's not as if he's got a death wish, thankfully.
Right.
No,
So-
but but his reasoning was really distressing to Levette because like she's lost a lot of people. So for him to be like, oh, I don't want to live without all my friends, she's like, that I'm kind of in that boat right now. But she doesn't have no friends left, so she couldn't say anything like that because he would be like, well, we got the party, and it's like, yeah, but people you care about are gonna die, and you're gonna have to move on. That's what you wanted to say, but like it was like she couldn't come up with a way to say it without like
Being like way too blunt.
way
Yeah.
too blunt. Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, from Archie's point of view, the idea was like because he learned about life and death in season 1. He learned his lesson.
Oh, that
And
was so bad. So cutting.
What happened after that is that he sort of realized that while he is kind of exempt from that cycle of life and death, that he's like, oh, I'm like everyone else around me is going to die, like I'm effectively immortal, that's fine. So he realized that like as the people he knows and loves die, it's like it's going to hurt him emotionally. He's going to feel more and more disconnected from the world. But he was concerned at first that he was going to have to continue on living forever because that's the way he was. But then he realized that after you died and after all of his other friends were dead, there'd be no one else to perform maintenance on him, and he'd die too. So he's like, oh, I guess I would die after a while. So he kind of took
Yeah.
almost comfort in it,
Yeah.
I
and
know.
knowing that
and
he wouldn't have to continue on forever alone.
I had, as a player and character, been thinking about like, oh, well, Levette's going to need to develop some sort of self-maintenance program for him after she's gone, so that won't happen. So when he took comfort in it, she was like, "Fuck, do I just abandon that?" And also, like, the context is reasonable, but for her, just hearing Archie kind of like take any solace in the idea of his own death really, really unnerved her.
Mhm.
Especially when she's still going through kind of a dark time. She's like anytime he says something like that, she's just worried that her pessimism is rubbing off on him.
I think it is.
Yeah, I kind of
Yeah.
think it might be.
Yeah, well, trying
I
to work
learned it
on that,
from
but then bad shit
you.
keeps happening. I'm like, all right, you know what? No more pessimism. And then it's like, all right, let's go watch Patrick get killed. And it's like, fucking.
More Muse, I think, is the solution.
Drugs are
robot
not
muse.
the answer.
Muse
he
doesn't
can't
work.
take
Thank you,
drugs.
Sol.
No.
Yeah.
I'll have to invent
That
drugs
was
he
just
can
me
take.
saying. That wasn't even a soul voice. Here. Drugs are not the answer.
Thank you, Sol.
They still helped me emotionally for a little while, but then I had to stop taking them because I got pregnant.
So they're part of the answer, just not the whole answer.
They're not the
Yeah.
whole answer, no.
I disagree, Sol. Levette probably agrees. I don't agree. Drugs are totally the answer. Don't fucking.
Don't be a shaggy.
From a mechanical perspective, I mean, obviously it wouldn't actually work, but I'm curious what would happen if Archie took Muse. Nothing, because he can't eat or drink, I'm assuming, but
What would he? How would that physically work? Like,
It
where
wouldn't,
would
would it?
he would take this little piece of Muse, like where would he
Crush
put
it
it?
into
No.
space?
let me rephrase that. I am
Got it.
curious what Archie would be like on Muse, but obviously it's not a situation that can
Oh,
happen.
so if you were to alter his programming, that he was as if he was under the effects of it.
Yes, that's more what I was
Okay.
going for there.
Okay.
That would be fascinating to me.
Well, you could ask Levette to come up with a
Levette,
Muse program.
Force your robot to be happy.
That's not
my
at
God.
all where I was going with that, Kenny. Thank you very
I'm just
much.
saying, if we ask them to do that,
Yeah.
that's what it sounds
Yeah,
like.
just reboot the OS. Update to Windows 11.
See, what
Yeah.
I was thinking, just slap a bunch of magnets to his head.
I mean,
Yeah.
maybe.
I wonder,
do it.
take it a different way then. I wonder what Archie would say if he were offered the opportunity to have an altered state of consciousness akin to being on Muse or drinking.
Me too.
So it's so like specifically lowering his intelligence to make him happier. Interesting.
You're
like it.
deliberately misreading my words.
No,
here.
I like
That's
it.
like
I
what
like
would
it.
have to happen.
Yeah.
Not,
Yeah.
but I'm not saying force it on him. I'm
Well,
merely
yeah,
Lowers your
asking,
intelligence.
would he be
Yeah.
curious about
You-
that?
The less
Give him
smart
the
you are,
option.
the happier you are.
Be like,
Would he
"Hey,
consider
Archie,
it a part of organic experience that he would like to try? I don't know. I'm fascinated by Archie as a character and the fact that he is trying to experience more human things and wants to experience more human things, or biological things, I should say. So I wonder if he had any interest in that.
Well, you know what? I given a little bit, but not a whole lot of thought before. But now, every time Levette does any kind of is inebriated in any way, I will be thinking about how my robot is judging me.
I was going to say, what if his answer to that is no? I've seen how it affects Levette. I absolutely don't want anything like
Yeah.
that. That would be pretty cutting.
Yeah,
especially
that definitely would be.
Do that.
Sure hope that's not his answer. That would be pretty depressing.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Different show.
Dead show.
Whatever show, just fucking let's move.
So eventually the next day came around and we did kind of a short little shopping trip just to get stuff in this biggest city that's ever existed in Adrian.
It's a
And
big city.
Kurla wanted them and Riz to kind of separate from the group for a little bit.
Yeah, so we had Vera pick up some diamond dust, which took a minute, and then they picked up a holy symbol, which took 30 minutes.
I feel bad about that, to be honest with you, because I actually was wanting to hurry that along so we could get to the battle.
It's all
That
good.
was a big
Oh
part of
no,
the
I get
RP
to
we got in that
avoid
session.
combat? Darn.
You broke up amazingly combat session, so I think it was a good call.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Although
But
Beardy was feeling very icky.
I know, but he stuck it
Yeah,
out
that
for
was-
us. I'm
that
proud
was
of
the
you.
other
feeling
thing.
icky
I-
because I ate
The thing you're
food
eating
that
now.
was with me.
You're literally eating the thing that made you feel icky yesterday.
No.
Really?
And
no.
Now I
taxes.
feel less bad about it.
No,
It's like,
Really?
It's
okay.
the taxes that are making me icky.
Are you
There
sure
we go.
about that?
Sure.
No.
I don't know, checks out to me.
Taxes are so easy.
Taxes
guys.
make people feel pretty
They're
icky. They
so
make me feel icky.
easy.
And that is why we pay somebody to do them for us.
I literally just said they're easy. They're so easy to do.
We haven't.
They're
we
easy
have
if I have all the
investments.
papers in front of me
I've
that I
been
need,
doing
which
it
I
since I
don't.
was 18, maybe earlier.
I used to be able. I used to do them, but now we have a bunch of investments that we were gifted, and it makes it more.
I literally took a class to learn how to do taxes in high school.
Me too, but that was in high school.
It makes it sound not easy if you had to take a class.
Yeah.
No, I mean like.
Hey, let's talk about Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is
That's been a
tax
while.
right now.
Tax dad.
Tax
Yeah.
Dad.
Check tax.
That's
All right.
that's the
Check
that's
tax.
the April Fool's episode.
Tax
It's
point.
just the characters
a
do their
nat 20.
taxes.
Yeah.
That is a nat 20. I get to have some major deductibles.
I am not going to roll for my taxes. Fuck
Yeah.
off.
So.
And we have
You are
we have
getting audited.
Levette's
You are being
poor-
audited.
Levette's poor shop assistant being anxious again because the shop's in the red.
Yeah, Rella's gonna come back and be like,
Bless
"Boss,
Rella.
things are bad.
I spent
Things
all
are
your
real
money."
Bad."
I love Rella. I love Rella so much for that.
Fire
the
that
line
bitch.
that
She's
their parents
useless.
told them not to take the job.
Oh man,
Oh, Rella.
if I come back and she has burnt my 5K and gotten nothing from it, then she very well may be fired.
I
Useless.
did my best, but
That's a lot of money to do.
they kept
Make
saying
no-
that the only way I could pay back the gift, the pay back what we owed, was through Amazon gift cards. I bought as many as I could.
I was going to say you'll come back and you'll find that Rella's like got a really nice house, and it's like, oh no, the business is failing. I don't know what happened. Ignore my own personal bank account balance.
I have no idea
But-
what happened.
Anyways, so we went to look for a holy symbol, and Kurla specifically requested Valuna, which I kind of was guessing based on just that you as a player seemed the most interested in that deity. There was some stuff we got to learn about Verla, but I think that made Riz more hesitant to bring you there.
How so?
Because it seemed like you were Kurla was doing it for their sibling and not for themselves. And that's
There's
kind of icky to them.
There is a part of that, but I think that it could potentially lead.
I mean, they didn't fight you on it. It's just
No, it could go either way.
the
It could be that
concern
they're
and
doing
like
it for the wrong
hesitancy
reasons.
was there.
From a purely like player perspective, I had belatedly realized that I'd utilized a spell in the past that I needed a holy symbol for, and felt really bad about it. I was like, if I'm going to use this spell in the
Player
future, I
guilt.
need to have that damn
There's a-
component.
There's a lot of spells that require holy symbols. Even like channeling energy requires, it's fine. It does. It
It's a
literally is
thing
fine.
we ignore a lot, so
Yeah, it's less important, so I
Like-
wouldn't worry about it too much.
legit, I've used spells before, and Beardy's like, "What are the components for that?" I'm like, "I've already used this spell without a component, my dude. Let's keep going."
Well, in any case, it worked, I think, because it furthers Kurla dipping a toe back into religion and having it not be a negative force in their life, and it helps draw them closer to Riz, maybe.
I don't know, because just because it seemed like it was more for Verla than it was for Kurla, there's just this kind of step back and hesitancy from Riz on this end. They're like I said, they're not going to stop Kurla from doing this. That would be way against their own like thoughts on all this, but they're watching you, I guess. They're just seeing what you turn into, I guess, is like a very basic way of saying it.
Well,
So question
yes.
is the fact that it's more for Verla than about Kurla, does that make Riz worried that it's in some way performative? Or what exactly about that
Less sincere.
rubs Riz? Okay.
That it's
Okay.
like, well, if you're actually interested in this, like, I'm super happy to like share this with you, but if this is just gonna be about your sibling who you're still mourning, like, I don't know if this is actually gonna help you process it, and I don't know if this is the right way to process it, because, you know, we're bringing in powers that are kind of out there a bit more, so there's like definitely some hesitancy, but yeah, they're
Kurla
just
doesn't know
watching.
either, so it could be a really bad decision on their part. I was just interested as well that Riz offered Kurla assistance with getting rid of their powers, and you totally stole one of my favorite lines in that encounter.
Yeah, because you've used it a million times on me. So I was like, fuck off. Here you go. Have it back. Reverse card.
It remains absolutely accurate for Saul, and that line is from She-Ra, and the idea of someone being worth more than what they can do for other people.
I think I turned the words
You
a
did
little
word it
bit.
differently.
You worded it slightly differently, but I could tell that you were playing off that idea.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, nicely done.
That exact wording didn't really fit Kurla anyway.
No. It was just, that's just how Riz sees it, because if you want to hold on to these powers, like, is it really for you? The thing that's been torturing your life for plus
Yeah.
how many years? So I think Riz is just very skeptical about a lot of stuff right now. They're like, I extremely care about you, but I think you need to figure out, like, what you want, because I'm willing to help you. And you have time, obviously, as they said, but figure it out.
Yeah, Kurla is a mess still. They've figured out some stuff, but they're still a huge fucking mess. But the fact that they have people to help them deal with that is kind of amazing to them, so we'll have to see what happens.
That's true.
Hopefully they won't piss off Riz again.
Yeah, everyone
That
has
was
the
a-
capability of making Riz angry.
That was a bad couple of episodes.
They're a pragmatist.
Yeah. I mean, not bad, just awkward. Anyway,
I don't know what you're talking
we
about.
find-
They just listened to exactly what you told them to do. Stay away from
That is-
you.
that is true. I know, I reaped what I sowed there, but it was really uncomfortable. Anyway, after that sort of shopping excursion that took longer than I had intended, we finally got into battle, and then all wished that we'd taken longer with the shopping excursion, or at least I did, since those mammoths trampled the
The shopping
of us.
excursion wouldn't have helped anything.
Yeah,
We had to
it
get
would
to it
have delayed.
eventually.
I know, it would have just delayed the inevitable, which wasn't the intention. But on the plus side, we did get a new sobriquet for our group, a new nickname, which, as you said, Xeno had already coined.
Yeah, he said Fortune's Flavor when we, when Naomi had said that they would name it after our group, and Xeno had
That's
jokingly said, "Oh, and the spin-off company that's all restaurants is Fortune's Flavor." So
And now it's
coming
it's
full
canon.
circle.
I love
hate
that.
it.
I want us to. I'm hoping it sticks. I'm hoping we get to like the fifth
Oh,
battle in the main arena, and it's all hardcore and with Fortune's Flavor, and that gets the
I
biggest.
don't want it to stick either. I'm with Kenny on that
No.
one. It's good
I
for a
feel
bit.
like-
It's a one bit.
I feel like Riz is going to go up to someone and be like, "Okay, listen here, motherfucker. It's Fortune's favor.
It's
Next time, I better
Fortune's
not hear that
Flavor.
shit."
I'm favor. It's favor. Damn it.
Favor. And if you do not listen
Floor-
to me, I am going to blast your fucking throat with disintegrate. Okay.
Yeah, watch us get into trouble with the Arcanae again, because Riz mixes it up with the announcer over the pronunciation of our group name.
Just to have the same title card with like Soul over Vera, except it's Riz over like this innocent announcer guy.
Fucking disintegrate down his throat.
Yeah. Fuck off.
Say it again, motherfucker! Say it one more time!
What's my name?
Yeah.
Although now that the threat of announcer Detlev has been posed, I will infinitely prefer Fortune's Flavor to that.
No, I'll take
Choose
that
your
love.
poison.
I
Really?
can't stand the idea of being called Fortune's Flavor as a group.
Beardy is just smirking now.
I mean, it just makes me wonder, like, if Detlev showed up and then also, like, took the notes from the previous
And call
announcers,
this Fortune's
like,
Flavor? Do you want
Yeah.
a Detlev to die?
I mean, we're gonna have to see what happens eventually.
We're
I
gonna
mean,
fight a
if-
dragon, bitches!
If I throw enough Detlevs at you guys, one of them is eventually gonna get attacked by you. You guys are just sadistic, so we'll see what happens.
Oh yeah,
What if-
that's us. Real sadists.
No, just
What
a
if this
psychopath.
is the 4D chess move? Beardy is maneuvering us into fighting Detlev as the 5th arena battle
That's what I'm thinking.
over Fortune's Flavor being. You cunning bastard.
All right, so what we need to do is we need to convince Cassius that Fortune's Flavor is an offensively bad name to the point of being worth violence.
Against Detlev.
Yes,
Cassius
against
Detlev.
Detlev.
Oh my god. It even sounds like a world title match.
I don't know about
Cassius
that.
versus Detlev live at the Bellagio.
I think that adding the word Detlev into any sentence
Yeah.
immediately turns the whole sentence into mush.
Anyway, what were people's thoughts on the mammoths? Because as I say, they
God
came
damn
out
bullshit.
they came out trampling, and it got worse from there.
I'm frankly still. I mean, they're scary, but I will take dire mammoths over a lot of things.
Yeah, true.
Really?
Yes, I need creatures dealing physical damage that's not magical is, as we've seen,
You-
very nice for me.
You've seen that I've killed things very easily with magic, right?
That's fine. No, I'm not saying that them.
I'm just saying magic's pretty strong normally when it's used.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Magic is very strong, and more importantly, it subverts the normal rules and expectations. It's harder to plan around. Like a bunch of abilities just won't work if we fight things that are casters and stuff like that. So I will take dire mammoths over like more hags or some shit like that.
Yeah, there's not much Vera can do other than sting, so that's why I was trying to do more RP kind of stuff, trying to blind them, just to have something to help
Thank
people.
you for your fucking swarms. I don't know what we would have done.
Mm-hmm.
Because my thought was like, oh,
That'd be amazing.
if I blind them, at least that would give people an advantage or something, hopefully, just so they can attack. And
I can blind them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Is it
gotta
a
make-
DC save?
It's a DC save though,
Yeah,
so
they
I'm
gotta
Well,
like,
then I don't know about
Save.
that. It's
I
pretty
probably
good,
could have
yeah.
like done it against the hydras. I honestly considered it just to be sadistic at some point, because I was like, well, these are gonna die, but I could just blind one just to fuck over the people who like probably heal them up and send them out again. I did ruin one just entirely. Good times.
Do you think they fixed them up after the?
I don't know what
bouts?
they do. I just think they're very weird here.
'Cause I feel like that'd be very expensive.
I think Prota's a weird place. They have the
Is it
money
expensive to
though.
replace them or fix them? What do you mean fix them up?
Like just
heal
like
them?
yeah, just to heal
So you have
them.
to resurrect them then.
No,
dead.
Yeah,
not all of
just
them
get
were
new
dead.
ones.
I feel like this is turning into a running thing. Like in every Star Wars film, someone has to lose a limb. Like in every season of an Adrian campaign, someone has to lose an eye. I mean, Snake Eyes, it's happened. Season 1 of Check Please. Season 2 of Check Please.
Well, it happened twice in season 1.
So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. But the blinding thing I liked. I liked that you were leaning into the RP, though, and I was hoping as well that it would become strategic, that the blinding would help us, because we were kind of throwing everything against them and nothing was sticking.
And
Were all their
somebody
saves?
didn't roll correctly for other saves. Beardy.
What did I do?
Oh,
What?
you were like, oh, these are fortitude saves, and I'm like, how's these reflex
oh,
saves
sorry.
going and this one isn't?
Yeah, no, yeah, because I thought it was a fortitude save when it was a reflex save.
My lightning.
All their
back in-
saves
It's
seemed pretty damn
Went
high,
back
though.
and fixed it.
Thank
all
you.
good.
I
I'm just
was
teasing
disappointed
you.
that
Is your
even-
food bothering
even
you?
Yes.
Motherfucker!
I'm sad that even with the invisible going after the flat-footed AC, still having difficulty.
Yeah, their AC is higher than I was expecting. I was certainly hoping on the whole they're big and thus easy to hit angle.
Armored
Oh,
skin.
Shitload of just
And-
a
The will saves get me.
Shit,
I'm like, I
naturals.
apparently need to learn more about dire mammoth culture because they apparently are very strong-willed, intelligent creatures.
And apparently have good reflexes.
It actually comes down to the dire template, just in general, like talking about rule, like basic rule stuff.
God, a dire bear was awful.
If a creature is of large size or larger, and you apply the dire template to it, it just doubles its hit dice. Like it just gets stupid.
So, what can I do to turn Archie into a dire robot?
I don't think we're allowed to.
No.
It's already there.
You were talking about alternate forms that you wanted Archie to take, though, at one point. Like, what was it, the giant snake that everyone
Oh yeah,
could ride?
at the end of season 1, I thought about turning him into a giant flying snake that breathes fire.
That would have been something to start season 2 out with.
Yeah, I figured that A, it wasn't really any stronger than what he is, and B, I didn't know if he'd like that. I felt like he might kind of, he's been a person for a while. He might not really enjoy
I miss having
completely
arms.
changing anatomy. Yeah, exactly.
What lesson were you trying to teach me by taking my arms away, Master?
Like, it was very much a thought process like, early in the campaign of like, oh, that would be cool. And then as Archie became more of a person, I was like, I can't just do things to him because it'd be cool. I gotta think it through a little more.
I think in terms of this battle, I think the strategy you hit on with drawing all the attacks of opportunity while oscillating, that was a nice touch. So thank you for that, because otherwise we would have been in even
people
more trouble than we
appreciate
were.
I've got to be honest, I feel bad every time I do it because Beardy gave me this special like extra power and I'm abusing it in the worst ways possible.
It's fine.
And I'm like, on one hand, you gave it to me, I've got to make use out of it, and I feel like that's what it's there for. And if you don't want it to work, then they just won't attack me, right? Then the attacks won't provoke.
Yeah, I mean, look, these fights were basically built around you guys using every single thing at your disposal to win. So they're meant to be challenging, and you guys are meant to use all of your bells and whistles to not only succeed but survive. So they're meant to be very difficult. So you're doing. I'm not going to complain about you guys using your powers to their fullest, because that's what you're supposed to do here.
Yeah, just because it's a thing that I would not normally get as a summoner. Every time it works so well, I'm like, oh, I hope that's what it was for.
I will say that I hope that before the next battle, assuming we survive these ones,
We will.
that in character we sit down and strategize. I think
Yes,
we
I would
should
like
do
to do
that
that
as a
too.
group.
I think
Yes.
that this is definitely your
What's
time
that
to
face
do
for?
that. It's been 2 campaigns. It might be time to start doing that.
What do you mean, what face?
You're like,
Sorry, I was registering what was being said and figuring out how I felt about what was being said and thinking about how Riz would think about it. Yep.
Okay.
Discuss.
I didn't actually hear what you said, so I'm confused now.
No, I made a face, and Xeno commented on what was that face. I was explaining it.
Gotcha.
It's discussed.
So Riz would not be pleased about the idea of a strategy meeting.
Well, I don't think it makes sense for them, because they're like, I just win. I don't...
Yeah, I just shoot some spells and it dies.
That absolutely kills me because Riz is the #1 person that needs to be in a strategy meeting because they have a bunch of things that will work really well in certain situations and a bunch of things that will not work in those situations.
Well, I have all my attack spells ready. Like,
I know, but like this last fight with the dire mammoths, like a lot of stuff isn't working because their saves are crazy.
to be fair, we wouldn't know what we're facing until we're in the arena. So.
No, but we can come up with contingencies.
And
We
everybody's
could ask
strategy is
Faustus.
everyone's strategy is awesome until you start getting trampled by a dire mammoth.
Yeah.
I don't know, my strategy
Plan
still
goes
looked
out the
pretty good.
window at that point.
I did have a question. Is it in Pathfinder? Is it possible to increase the DC save? Like, is it possible for me to
Doubling up.
Yes. So there's 2 ways to do that. You can increase your DCs by leveling up, because typically a DC is half your level plus your ability score modifier plus 10. That's like the general basic rule for all DCs.
Okay.
So that means you're level 15, so you're getting a plus 7, plus 10, so your base DC is 17 for most stuff. And then you add, if it's the spell, you add like the spell's level, I think, on top of that, plus your ability score modifier, just the ability score modifier. So, no, the level's in there too. So, you end up with DCs, and then the ways to increase those, I guess, the question you're asking, the way to increase
Yes.
those is to either increase your level, which you guys do eventually, and then the other way is to increase your ability scores that are based around those abilities. So, for example, for you to make your spells have a higher DC, you need to increase your charisma. If you had like venom, if you were a venomous creature and you want to increase your DC, you have to increase your con.
And
So, for the example of Chains of Light, which has on the thing it says DC 19.
Right.
You increase your charisma.
So that's going to be 10 plus the spell level.
Also,
plus-
that's automatically calculated into the.
right.
That was automatically.
So it's 10.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
So the DC for that is going to be 10 plus the spell level plus your charisma modifier. And
I
that's
think there are
going to
also
be 19.
feats, right? that
And
can
then
help
any
with-
feats you have, yeah, you can always take
Yeah.
a feat that increases your spell DCs for specific schools.
I
So
gotta
like you
get
have to
some
choose
more
like, okay,
charisma
so
then.
for every this spell school or this spell type,
I think
or
I
whatever,
have
you can
2
increase it.
of those. I think I have it for.
Yeah.
I can't remember the schools off the top of my head, but
It's,
I have 2 of those.
The feats are called spell focus.
Yep.
And I do not recommend taking the paladin.
No. I would just get something to increase my charisma.
Yes. Much more.
You have something. It's a wonderful magenta
Yes.
fucking cape.
Yes, and I need more.
It's plus 2 and you're level 15, so you could trade that out for a minor version.
I would never trade that out. It's a gift.
No,
It's
you
magenta?
never
I thought it
traded
was
out,
purple.
but you definitely recolored it.
Oh my gosh.
I may re-dye it,
Yeah, why not?
and I.
Well, but
Do
speaking
something
of,
awkward
speaking of
and
art-
Al will come take it.
Yeah, speaking of art and Skrewy managing to annoy Keni.
yeah, this is all surprisingly similar to something else that happened.
Yeah, there was an interesting line last night.
You said that some of my best arts are my JoJo arts, and had found out that I've only made one JoJo reference title card out of all the title cards I made.
Out of all
What one?
60 of
What
them.
other one did you think was a JoJo reference? Is my first question.
That's a pretty generous question.
That's,
I got the folder.
I
up.
thought you pulled. Okay, the thing is, I thought you had pulled from JoJo more often than you actually did.
You're
and I
saying
was
Kenny's
just
got no original
assuming.
work?
But what informed your comment that made those images extreme, like the best ones?
Because I liked them. I liked when they make JoJo references,
But,
and I
okay.
thought that
mean-
they used more JoJo references.
If you like,
Digging ever
hey,
deeper.
If you like JoJo references, you should start
Why
watching
don't you just
fucking JoJo.
watch JoJo?
Watch fucking JoJo.
Because
watch
then I
JoJo.
have to sit and watch JoJo, and
Maybe I
I
should-
would like to do that. I don't have the time to do that.
You should watch JoJo, Beardy.
Maybe I should watch JoJo.
You should watch
it's on my
JoJo.
watch list.
It
I
is.
should watch JoJo.
I
Yeah.
just
What's
bought
JoJo?
some I got a JoJo Blu-ray in the mail today.
Hell yeah.
He was very excited about it.
I got that within like 17 hours of ordering
Stardust
it. Crusaders.
Crusaders, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did Stardust Crusaders.
Nice.
So if there's
Yes.
any writers or artists or executives who do JoJo, I would love to see.
I'm gonna remember this the next time he's telling me some movie you've seen that it's like, why would you watch that? I'm gonna be like, you gotta watch JoJo instead.
Yeah.
Oh. Jojo aside, and Skrewy digging
I
himself ever
still
deeper.
want to know which one was
aside.
the JoJo reference that I don't know about, apparently.
baby
Because
brain.
so
Obviously,
is
you were
Skrewy.
thinking of
Okay.
something when you were like, oh, this is like, of the JoJo references you've made, this one's the best. So you must have one in your mind that you have thought is JoJo. What the fuck is it?
I did consider drawing Petravian in a JoJo style because I have
He
to
would
draw
probably look the
Petravian
best,
just
yeah.
because of
Yeah, he really would.
I owe him one for Dark Souls for winning against
Yeah.
some gargoyles.
Oh God! Wow, that was a while ago. Holy shit! I had forgotten about that.
But Skrewy, chance to respond. Was there a particular other piece you were thinking of that?
No, it was in my head. I thought that there were more, and that the one that sticks out the most was the arena
The Archie one.
pose,
Yeah.
the Archie one.
The Rock'em Sock'em
And I thought,
Robots.
and for my,
Sorry,
and I
Lily.
was just assuming that I was forgetting the other ones, which I do. I just forget stuff.
That's fair.
So
So what do you think
I just-
is my best art overall, or is it the
Ooh.
JoJo one?
what is your best?
I mean, it's a good one. It's still one of my favorites. But I mean, I'm biased.
Ooh.
My vote is still
for
for
season
oh,
one.
vote
For season one, it's a tie between the Be Not Afraid Keni Dragon or Dragon
Oh.
Soul Dragon
Really? Okay.
and the Marcus Death Seat.
I don't have a
Interesting.
Marcus death scene.
The one with Hildy.
Yeah, you
The-
do. The
the-
cover
Oh,
for
okay.
Us Around
Sorry.
Marcus.
I didn't have
Yeah.
him dying on a title card.
No.
No,
Yeah.
no. Just
That one had
would've been
Hildegard in it, which is one
That
of my
would have
favorites.
been a brutal title card. Just Marcus getting like us all sitting there sadly, and then through the window you just see him getting stabbed in the chest by Hildy.
Hildegard just stabbing him in the heart. Yeah.
Mm.
Poor Hildy.
Ah, one of my favorite
Tears in her
NPCs, guys, still to this day.
I love her so
Yeah,
much.
one of mine
So
too.
great.
I'm
Oh yeah,
really
I
hoping
totally
to meet
destroyed
her.
my relationship with one of my favorite NPCs. It's great.
I really want to meet her. I'm hoping that I
So-
get to.
The
But
one
The good news is, oh, go ahead.
that Skrewy was referencing, I believe that was, oh god, I make these images so fucking big. The one that Skrewy was referencing about Soul being on there, I don't know if this is a be not afraid thing, because Soul's definitely freaking out in this image.
Yeah. Soul's having a bad day.
Yeah. So this is the
Wow, that
only
is
one
big.
that, like, of the title cards that Soul is in this form.
We also had
Yeah.
another Drake.
Well, yeah, but
I
that wasn't
really,
a title card.
really like this. That is one of my favorites. Those are my two favorites.
I like
look
the
at-
Vera in this one.
Look at
the Vera, that was
Levette in
great.
the dress.
Yeah, Levette's in the dress in that one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
I
dress.
love it.
There's
Yeah,
something
even
about how
Karis is
tiny the
freaking out.
I'm in
characters
no
are that
arm.
brings me back to when I had like miniatures.
Uh-huh.
Like
Sleeveless
I love it.
tux.
Yep. Petravian
Well-
deserved the sleeveless tux.
Any
no
more
armor, no
on
hammer,
Kenny's?
no nothing. I was dead.
my.
This is why you need to sleep in your armor and always wear it.
Oh, weren't you
That's
going
the
to say
lesson.
something, Beardy?
Yes.
I can't remember.
Hildegard, you had a comment about.
Oh, the useful thing about Hildegard. Oh, there it is. Oh, Hildy. I want to give her a hug. So the thing about Hildegard is that the good news for Grem is that she's gonna live so long that your next character might have a really good relationship with Hildegard.
My
So,
next character? I don't know
Yeah.
about that. If my next character makes Hildegard, I think that will be even worse.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
I'd
Oh,
be
man.
excited for
I think
that.
Hildegard might find your next character charming. We'll see.
I'd be
Yeah.
I'd be interested in
Until she finds
that
out his
character
dad
meeting Vera. Potentially. That also wouldn't be good
Ooh.
because Vera's the one who's like, hey,
Huh.
you either have to die or I'll do it for you.
In
I'm
any
curious
case,
to see how various characters handle my next character.
Hey, look, it's a JoJo reference.
I like how it's a JoJo reference and it also looks like Pokemon.
Yeah.
So did we
Also-
have any more?
Love the villains in the back of there. Are they
Yes.
kind of hanging off of each other?
It's still one of my favorite little details. I mean, I absolutely love how you did them.
Well, I had to at least draw them once.
Mhm.
There is one title card that I wanted to do originally for one of the episodes, and I can't remember what I ended up doing because so much
bad.
happened in that episode. It was the
Warehouse battle?
warehouse battle, and I can't remember what I did instead because so many
You had
fucking
the
things
one
happened.
close up of Levette.
Oh,
pointing
that's
to the
right.
crossbow at this camera.
That one.
That was a hard one to pick of like what I
Yeah.
wanted to do because I did kind of want to draw
The robot. twins.
Colin
Colm.
Colm kicking Vera out of the
That
sky.
would be so cool.
Oh,
I think
that'd
about
pretty
that.
cool.
I think about that
quite
very
often.
often, but I'm like,
It's like the
this
most
one
anime
was
moment.
so like enough of like what the fuck is Levette pointing at that it was too tasty not to do that one.
Agreed.
So
It drew people. I mean, I don't know if it drew numbers in, but it's a good drawing. It was like, oh shit, what's like you see that and you're like, oh fuck, what's gonna happen in this episode? the people I know that watch our show they saw the title card and they're like, oh god, what happens?
What Levette do?
what did Levette
Grow
do?
gets shot again.
Like, I don't want to talk about it.
Well, that unless people have more on Kenny's art or on the battle that we got left with, we've got the Dire Mammoths to finish up in the next episode, and hopefully 2 more battles after that, which are going to get worse. But we do have one more thing to talk about, And that, of course, is the ongoing tragedy
The Ballad of
Chisel.
Chisel.
The Ballad of
God,
Chisel.
He's got okay. We've had some pretty rough ups and downs as characters, but good Christ, that poor animal.
And now you see why he's always angry.
And now he's like a part insect thing.
Yeah.
When you
Sometimes.
cast fly.
When that spell
Sometimes.
hits him.
What is?
Do you think his family will reject him for his new transformations?
I was gonna
Yes,
say that.
I was gonna include that if he was killed in that fight and he returned to the glade, his family would have rejected him for having insect wings.
Oh my God, Beardy, you magnificent so and so.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That is so dark. I love it. Poor Chisel.
It's just just Chisel's.
Just writes itself.
Yeah, it really does write itself. I mean, I'm not doing anything aside from just taking this in the worst possible light every time. That's all. Just Chisel's life is just an endless tragedy, and he'll never have any relief.
At this point, Chisel is the A story, and our adventures are the B story.
I
oh my
d- I
God,
do.
it's literally the B story.
I do enjoy
Hey.
just having wrong thing. This backstory of Chisel, because it makes me like him more, because for the longest time I was like, why is he here? He doesn't do anything. So I do prefer having him have this story now.
Yeah, maybe I'll have to build him a hat for his own purposes. Like, I wasn't gonna build him one because I didn't want, because Petra already got one. But I'm like, maybe he needs to talk some shit out. He just needs someone he can talk to.
I just
But
imagine
I
him
also
either
can't
being
feel
like.
it's gonna be a
understand him?
mistake.
I just
Okay.
imagine he's either going to
I
be like the most.
understand him. I just don't speak
erudite.
with him. But his actions are plenty understandable.
I'd have.
He's
Homer
either going to be
talk
the most
more,
erudite or he's going to be like the most foul-mouthed. I'm sorry, you were saying?
but- No, don't worry about it.
You sure?
Somebody go.
No, all right. Well, if
All right,
anyone
I'll leave,
has,
sorry.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
if
Good night,
no one
everybody.
has anything else,
No, I think that's everything from the past 2 episodes. Goodbye,
Yeah.
baby.
So when can folks expect to hear from us again?
We're still playing next week, as far as I know. It's not
Cool.
April yet.
Saturday the 19th.
So, we'll see you then. This episode of Checkpoint will release on YouTube on Friday this week, just like Check Please will release on Wednesday on our YouTube. If you don't know where our YouTube is, you can find it in those buttons below us right now on our About page in Twitch. Sorry for YouTube for having to hear this. Like and subscribe, though, you bitches. Anyways,
Yeah.
everyone knows that self-deprecating and deprecating people is the one way to, like, get to their hearts. Ain't that right, bitch Beardy?
Works with me.
Yeah.
Fuck.
On that note,
Why do you think I'm still here?
But otherwise, we will see you next Saturday for Check Please, 8 p.m. Central Time, as always. We love you all very, very much and hope to roll with you again soon. Bye, everyone!
Bye.
take care.